You are listening to the Red Leaf Retrocast, gaming, anime, and wrestling. Your best location to learn, remember, and relive the past to the present. We watch old and seasonal anime, play old and new video games, and watch all the wrestling we can. You are listening to the Wrestling Cast episode, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome. It is episode 27 of the Red Leaf Retrocast edition, titled Carat Gold Cup. Couldn't tell by the title, we're talking about Scrappermania, 16 karat, gold, and the New Japan Cup on this cast. Later I will be joined by Jay from the SmackDown podcast and fellow host of the Red Leaf Retrocast Modern Gaming Edition, where we talk about all of the recent releases in video games over the last month. Really fun. We have a packed show for you today. Lots of this podcast's favorite indie promotions had arguably their biggest shows of the year. Many tournaments, two in particular, just recently happened. This is Red Leaf Retrocast. Where would we be without our collaboration sites of a Discord dedicated to retro gaming, Retro Twitch? Go check them out, retrotwitch.com. Easy Discord link in the Twitter handle. And then, of course, the Anime Radicals Network. For all our anime fans out there, of course, go check out Red Leaf Retrocast Anime Edition, where we're over 45 episodes strong at this point. Amazing stuff. And we have our going contest for a High Dive gift card. One of those new anime streaming sites out there. Very affordable, but if you want to test it out first, then just enter our contest. Go to @BowlingJD or Red Leaf Retrocast. You can find the pinned tweet for a link to the contest entry. There you go. Enter it, people. Let's get this thing started. As always, this is more of the intro dedicated to promotions we don't normally cover on this cast. Maybe we'll cover them more. Dragon Gate is a promotion that was introduced in this intro section, and show now, we've covered it 2 for 2 at this point. I love Dragon Gate now. Not something I thought I'd say. OTT is another one. This time last year, OTT was just kind of hanging about. Yeah, Scrappermania is always fun. How about this? We're back at Noah. Yes. Another Japanese wrestling promotion, Pro Wrestling Noah. They had Great Voyage 2019 in Yokohama. They have disregarded the green mat. The green mat's gone. New logo and everything too. Personally, I'm not a fan of logo. I think it's generic to a fault. Doesn't pop. It's not inspiring in any way. I don't like it. It does look pretty good with the new mat though. We'll admit that. Especially on the black background. By itself, though, absolutely hate it. But that's not why we're here. We got new owners in Noah, new direction. Here is the start. This is the thing. This took place at the beginning of March, so I finally got around to watching it. What I focused on here was their 4 title matches. Their junior heavyweight tag, their junior title, their tag title, and the big daddy of them all, their GHC heavyweight title. So, what happened? Well, to me, it's still very typical Noah at the end of the day. It's, besides their main event matches, which are hit and miss with me, they're always gauntlet matches, pretty much. They're always very long-standing. 25 plus minute things, so it's still the same old Noah. night in and night out. I didn't see anything different here other than a design change as my cat jumps up onto the table. Bug me. Hey, cat. Yeah, I see. But we had Kotaro Suzuki and Ogawa defending the junior tag titles against Hayata and Tadasuke. I like Hayata. He's got an interesting little gimmick and look to him, but the match only went 11 minutes. It's about as good as a high-speed tag match can be for just over 10 minutes. Sure, why not? What I was really impressed with, though, was the junior heavyweight title match, which was Minoru Tanaka defeating Daisuke Harada to become the new champion. That match went 21 minutes. That was really impressive. I really like what I see out of Harada each and every time I've seen him. In between this cast, he lost the belt, and I guess he gained the belt back at one point, which I'm not aware of. But Minoru Tanaka is a mainstay. Harada is just solid in the ring constantly. This match is an easy recommendation. I quite liked it. A lot of the junior title matches I've seen, Harada generally doesn't have a good enough opponent for him to go up against, which kind of keeps me disinterested a lot of the times. But Minoru Tanaka, I mean, come on. You're familiar with the name. You're not familiar with the name. Definitely give him a good Google search. He's been around the business for quite some time. So, interesting enough, the tag title match was the tag champs of Go Shiozaki and Nakajima, which is an odd pairing, if you ask me. But they were up against another odd pairing of Masa Kitamiya and Eddie Edwards returning to Noah. So maybe this extension with Impact, him coming back to Noah, could be a regular thing going forward. But man, for a 21-minute match, it was slow. Didn't do much for me. The main dude in this match that came across is Nakajima, Katsuhiko Nakajima. He is the star. This is just Noah's depth problems at the forefront. Still the same issue. Eddie Edwards looks real slow, even worse than he does in Impact. He just can't keep up with the work rate of Noah. If he improves the work rate and I guess his cardio, then he could keep up with these guys. But right now, he was just really behind throughout the entire match. Yeah, he was still kind of in position most of the time, but it was mostly guys running circles around him. It really reminded me of the days when, in TNA, when a lot of former WWE guys would go to TNA and they'd look like bad wrestlers because the TNA guys would just run circles around them all the time. They just had a harder work rate. They had to work harder to get that crowd. This is kind of the example I threw here for myself. But the main event was the new champion, Kaito Kiyomiya. This dude, I think he's like 22, 23, he's real young. He's got a good look to him. He's got a good stature about him. He won Noah's version of the G1 late last year in a surprise victory. We did discuss that on the cast. He's defending the title against my man. I love this guy, Naomichi Marufuji. His sidekicks, pump kick, like incredible. Marufuji's one of my favorite Japanese wrestlers, definitely of this era. And this 32-minute match was beautiful. If anything, check this match out. This is a testament to Noah, at the very least, pushing new stars to the extent of what they're capable of. I'll give an example of that when we get to All Japan in a minute here. Because unlike a few other Noah younglings, they're not ready for the high spotlight. For a junior title match, yeah, maybe. Tag title match, sure. GHC heavyweight title match, no. The only man that's acceptable right now is Kiyomiya. This dude is money. Love him. He's the future of like he's that kind of caliber of a guy. He is definitely the future. He is a bright one. I kind of expect him to lose the title fairly quick here because of how young he is. Maybe get him to chase a little bit more. Regardless, the match was absolutely fantastic. Marufuji looks like he's been healing up a lot of his injuries from 2018, 2019 that he was accumulating. He looked a lot more fresh in this match. Adored it. But anyways, moving on. All Japan had their Dream Power Series. Took place over many, many days. All Japan, my guys, you got some things to work out here. Because I watched day one, just watched the two main tag matches to see more of the young talent that All Japan's bringing up. They had a couple tag matches. Then day 6 was the Triple Crown title match of Kento Miyahara and Naoya Nomura. So the first tag match was Jake Lee and Koji Iwamoto. Their tag names, the Sweeper, sure, versus Kotaro Suzuki and Tako Omori. Then the main event was Dylan James and Nomura versus Nextream, Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi. This crowd was just mostly dead the entire time through these two matches I was watching. Just not much hype behind anyone other than Kento Miyahara. You remember last year on this cast, Kento Miyahara, the whole reason why I started watching All Japan again was to just watch Kento Miyahara. There's no exception. Whatever this guy does, it is like he bleeds money. He bleeds charisma. He bleeds work rate in the ring. He is a 31-year-old smaller Tanahashi. He's that damn good. It's no joke that when day 6 rolled around, he had to defend his title, the ace of All Japan, against this young dude Nomura. Sure, the crowd was behind Nomura in this match, but I think it's because it was a triple crown title match, young guy against the ace. Match went basically 29 minutes. To me, it was Miyahara wrestling a broomstick. It was still really good in a lot of ways because Nomura does play his role of a beat-up babyface character and makes a few comebacks, but it was really just Miyahara doing a good chunk of the work. It's just a testament to his wrestling skill and where he stands in the company above all else. In a lot of ways, you could compare the current state of All Japan to an infantile post-Inoki state of New Japan, where they just have a few aces up their sleeves, pun and totally intended, and they're just breeding their crop of wrestlers. They're trying to sign guys. This is the kind of feeling I'm getting from All Japan. While Noah is, yeah, they've stagnated in depth quite a lot. They've lost a lot of wrestlers important to their promotion. So we'll see what happens there. But Dragon Gate is a good example of a promotion that lost guys. They've developed young talent and showcased them properly. But pretty cool. So that's All Japan. I don't think I'll be checking Noah and All Japan out. Recently, I might check out All Japan's Champion Carnival finals match. That's always good. Remember last year was Miyahara and Marufuji just fucking tore the house down. So, anyways, I think it's time I play the Wrestler Spotlight drop.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
It's definitely no joke. One of the best there ever was Harley Race. And I was thinking about this, doing the retro reviews, some titles that there was a little Twitter thing that went on about a month ago, or 2 months ago even. Like, what's your favorite titles? And what do I think of favorite titles? Well, my favorite titles consist of like some European titles, the WWF early 90s white intercontinental belt, currently the IWGP title. But when it comes to history of titles, I saw a documentary over the NWA United States title, now known as the WWE US title, various circumstances. There's a long history there, and up until 2000, for this podcast, would love to just go down the list of all of the NWA US champions, just one by one. And Harley Race was the first NWA US champion via Mid-Atlantic Wrestling through Jim Crockett Promotions out in Tallahassee, Florida. Harley Race was what we would call the workhorse of the industry. You know, he only had really one big heavyweight title to his name. You know, think of him like a modern day Benoit, Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, where they were always in the middle of the card but stole wrestling fans' hearts and gained tons of respect in the back and just in the business in general. That's who Harley Race was. You know, he's still alive, so we can get further to the point normally than what we always do. So for his first few years of the career, I think he started in like 65 AWA type stuff. He made his big break in the early 70s, which was the US title, right? The mid 70s finally came to be. He had a few good rivalries in there via Dick the Bruiser, I believe. Let's see, Vern Gagne was in there, Bill Watts for sure, and eventually started wrestling Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect, however you want to cast it. He was definitely tag partners with Mr. Perfect. I believe they had a quite an interesting tandem out on the West Coast, if memory serves. But let's talk about the U.S. title here, because that's what he's most known for, with first ever U.S. champion, always recognized. And so he would constantly showcase this title off, right? It all started when he went to Texas and faced Jack Briscoe, and he ended up losing the U.S. title there, and for some reason he just became part of super fandom there, and always was a championship contender after that. And I use the word contender purposely. So he did win at one time, you know, like Jericho won the WWE title one time, but he's mostly an intercontinental champion, say, while Harley Race is very much in that standing. You know, Race had just amazing feuds. He in 78 he body slammed Andre the Giant. He had a great feud with Jim Duggan, Hulk Hogan. You know, the list goes on. Like, no matter who was in the ring with him, he always tried to make these guys look like $1 million, right? And where I'm familiar with Harley Race the most when he was I did see an old WrestleMania video of him against Junkyard Dog. We all know Junkyard Dog, or I hope you know, was not a good worker. He was very over with the crowd. They did book him right. He just the matches were really off a lot of the times. Let's be honest here. Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, all part of the era. Fantastic stuff. Now, where Harley Race lost me as a fan, like when looking back on his career, like, holy shit, 70s, 80s, hell yeah. But that's not, like, he was an NWA US title in the 80s. 70s guy, right? The 80s was Wahoo McDaniel, another guy who we've talked about on this cast. So he'll be a dude that we'll be skipping. But Harley Race, being the big worker, I believe if memory serves, he was the guy that innovated the top rope headbutt, which he regrets to this day because it caused a lot of concussion syndromes. Belly to belly suplex, I believe, was from Harley Race. He brought a lot of wrestling skill to the ring, which made it give the sport of wrestling or wrestling entertainment a sense of realism to it. It's pretty cool. He had a flair and charisma to his character. And where he lost me was when I would look back on tapes for the WWF stuff, because he had a very short-lived career there, about 4 or 5 years, and then he was a manager in WCW when he would just make kind of essentially random appearances here and there. I believe he was exactly. He was the manager of Big Van Vader when he was in WCW. That's where I believe we must have mentioned that on the cast when we talked about. But in WWF in the late 80s, everyone needed a gimmick. That was the thing, and his gimmick was he won the King of the Ring. So he was King Harley Race, and funny skits and segments of wrestlers always stealing his king gear, so to say. And then the gimmick was if he pinned you, you'd have to kind of get down on your hands and knees and kiss his boots or acknowledge him, kind of deal. Heenan was always involved as well. Bobby the Brain Heenan was part of his man. It was a good tandem. Now, he did suffer injuries via stomach injury through bad table spots. I think the most notable was when he meant to go hit Hogan sometime in the late 80s, and he ended up getting a hernia because he went too hard into the bar or something. And we know these guys way back then, they just went stiff all the time. But he had, it might seem like Harley Race had a short career, but in reality, when he starting in the late 60s and he went all the way until about 91, 92, that's a long career. And I feel like a lot of it is lost to time, kind of like the whole Wahoo McDaniel. If you weren't a regional wrestling fan, you missed out on Harley Race. It's just like word of mouth. I do recommend going to things like Google and YouTube and looking up Harley Race in NWA, seemingly giving Flair the okay, you're taking my spotlight kind of deal, then you're the next guy. I don't recommend the Junkyard Dog match at WrestleMania 3. That is no bueno. But I do recommend kind of the Terry Funk era, Johnny Valentine for sure, lots of hard hitting. And some of his WWF skits with Duggan, I mentioned that before, of Duggan stealing his robe and stuff, it's quite funny. But if you want to see more of what Harley Race wanted to do, was as a wrestler, then check out the NWA library. You really can't go wrong, because I'm sure there's a lot of just big wrestlers that Harley Race was part of. So I hope you guys learned something. It was definitely cool. I watched a few matches myself. That's gonna move us along into our next segment, which is Weekly Wrestling Recap. Weekly Wrestling Recap, episode 49 and 50, March 17th and 24th of Major League Wrestling, MLW, that you can watch over on YouTube for free. Wrestling takes place on Sundays now, Sunday afternoons. And 49 started off pretty hot with Puma King versus El Hijo de la Park with Mance Warner on commentary. Because, as we know from the previous week, Mance Warner spilled some light beer on Zelina de la Renta, and that led to one thing or another. We got Mance Warner on commentary. Decent little lucha hardcore style match. Was not a fan of Manser on commentary here. He's basically just saying his 3 catchphrases over and over again. Was not a fan. What the hell is he doing kind of deal. Why is he even there? Well, we know why he was there, because eventually Heel Park, this is like WCW 2000 type booking here. It just went off the rails. Heel Park has the match won, but for some reason decides, I don't want to win the match anymore. I go through all this rigmarole to beat down Puma King, and then I go look over, get out of the ring, spit on Mance Warner, and expect nothing to happen. What the F? Of course Manser's not going to have it. For some reason, it's not a DQ, as Manser like hits him over the head with a chair or something, then tosses him in the ring. Puma King gets the win. What? I'm becoming a big fan of MLW, but this weird ass end of match booking has to stop. It's so bizarre. We had the cage match between Lawler and Loki, where they're just like on the edge of the cage for a freaking century. Now we have this where the guy has the match won, and he just goes, yeah, you know what? Now I don't care about this match. I'm gonna go spit on this dude. Like, please. Alright. Couple tag title match promos from the New Heart Foundation, who from this day forward I will be referring to as H2. And then we got another promo from MJF and Holiday, kind of highlighting their new tag team alliance deal of the Dynasty. Then we get tag match. Debuting Contra unit, Fatu, Samael, where they legit attempt murder in the ring. They get DQ'd, of course. Fatu hook spikes one guy and splashes him. Samael, and I'm not joking you, I wouldn't fib you guys, he shoots flames out of his hand like a freaking magician Arabic genie. Just, here's my flame trick. The dude sells the piss out of, like his face has been horribly burned. And what gets even just more crazy is Samael and Fatu stay in the ring trying to get legit heat from the fans. Like, they're throwing water bottles on them. They're spraying them with water. They're swearing at them. Just antagonizing the fans to throw food and drinks in the ring at them just to try and get all that heat. Like old WCW, NWO, fucking up a main event week in and week out kind of heat. But this is legit hate, not annoyance hate. It was pretty gnarly. It was rad, I'll tell you. Then we get a pretty decent main event of H2, the team of Smith Jr. and Teddy Hart, versus Dynasty members MJF and Holiday. Teddy Hart's injured ribs from the prior beatdown was sold quite nicely, I must say. But at one point, Teddy fucking pukes in the middle of the ring because his ribs were worked so bad he can't breathe right, and then he tags out. It's a ridiculous spot, and yet I loved it. I guess it brings realism to it, but there are some things where they go over the edge and you're like, why did he do that? Was that really necessary? Why not? Why not was that not necessary? You can get that double entendre for you. Double negative. And as a post-match beatdown is happening, Mr. Hammerstone, Big Hammerstone, hits the ring at the end of the match and causes the DQ. If we remember from a backstage promo segment from, I'm pretty sure a couple weeks back, he was on the phone saying, quote, "Oh, Dynasty? I like that name." And he kind of looks back at the camera. That's good backstage segments. I spoke about Impact, where you saw Willie Mack and Chris Brothers kind of hanging out backstage and nothing happened with that. they set something up and it meant something. All you had to do was pay attention. Great. So nice consistent storytelling there. MJF's faction grows to 3. He's a big deal, guys. Better than you. You know it. Episode 50, March 24th. Starts off with Teddy Hart being arrested for vandalizing MJF's car, allegedly. And really just goofy spots of Teddy Hart taking his fanny pack, busts out a big-ass stack of cash, hands it to David Boy Smith Jr., takes all of his necklaces off. He's looking at the officer. No, I'm complying, officer, as he doesn't do anything to comply. And then he walks off, and Pillman Jr. comes up from the side. He's like, "Where's Teddy? Where's he go? No, Teddy, come back! Ah, oh no!" Just really, really awkwardly bad yet hilarious, terrible acting. MJF and Holiday are now standing by, gloating in his arrest. Pillman wants Hammerstone in a match later for vengeance. Oh god, that's not gonna end well. First match is Myron Reed. Finally off to the first match in episode 50. Myron Reed versus Gringo Loco. It was quite fun. Not anything but a fun match. Couple botches here and there. Crowd was into it. Gringo Loco actually gets the win. Yeah, a spinal tap. Pretty sick finishing move. We got more segments here. MJF backstage gloating about Teddy Hart's mugshot after being arrested and talks shit on Calgary unintentionally. He goes, "We're gonna go to Canada, hang out in Calgary, have a good time." And Holiday's like, "What are you talking about? Calgary sucks ass." MJF says, "Oh yeah, forgot," kind of deal. We got more hyping up Battle Riot packages with various wrestlers. Fun. Get a Contra Unit hype promo on how they are taking over and killing people. And now time for Hammerstone with MJF and Holiday versus Pillman Jr. with no friends. And wouldn't you know it, the no friends plays a big role because Pillman loses. Handedly. And that's it. That was MLW. Couple good shows with at least 1 week segment in. So MLW is keeping my attention from now. I am very excited for what they do with Contra Unit in the future. Oh, excuse me. Long day at work. That hit me. And where this Dynasty and H2 rivalry gonna head. So stuff. With that, now on to something that I don't have much to talk about at all. The Impact. Impact Wrestling. I've given them the rope. I've given them the slack. Guys, I'll reveal what I'm doing at the end of the March 22nd show. But first, we got March 15th to go through. Overall, a decent continuation of telling the stories they are telling via the extended TV formula, considering there's some positive there. Impact has their formula. They're sticking to it. They're not veering away from it. They think this is the safe way to go. I can't really fault them for that. However, you gotta make some fucking interesting TV. Because what I'm seeing here is a failure of that. I still firmly believe all of these stories should have had these twists and conclusions ages ago. Because of how cold and just no reaction. The crowd is for everything. It's awful. The crowd is bored. I am bored. So, with that being said, Allie is still crazy, but now with Rosemary, that continues. That was the Undead Realm fight thing. That was just another stepping stone, because of course it is. Swan and OVE are now feuding. Who saw it coming? As Swan has Willie Mack and Dreamer on his side, continuing that. Naturally, I expect Callahan versus Swan for the X Division title. Swan wins because why would you divert from the formula? We'll see what happens from there. Edwards and Drake continue their little tag match, winning streak of beating other tag teams via kendo stick spots. Sure, shenanigans ensues. They're kind of helping each other out now, whatever. Jordynne Grace beats Tessa Blanchard fucking clean. Post-match, Blanchard goes a little crazy, and rightfully so, because she's been adamant about getting that title match. She finally has a number one contender match. She blows it. She's pissed. She goes fucking apeshit on camera crew, ring crew. Gail Kim eventually comes out to stop the rampage. And what's interesting is Impact Management, Scott D'Amore, goes, Gail, what the fuck is wrong with you? Gail's like, well, look what she's doing. He's like, she's a competitor in the ring. We can deal with her and her consequences. You have no business in the ring. Get out. You're suspended indefinitely. Like, oh my god, continuity. Unbelievable. I love it. Tessa Blanchard's little whiny character thing is a little wearing at times, but she gets it done in the ring, and that's what matters. Gets over. Fucking Gail Kim still looks like $1 million. Her against Tessa Blanchard is like the only thing I'm looking forward to in Impact Wrestling. Big news is Brian Cage is finally getting Johnny Impact to give him his title match. But what ends up happening is Johnny Impact finally turns heel, as does Taya, with Killer Cross in tow. Sort of. Kind of looking on. It was all a ploy, his little injured neck thing, and the fusions, and the doctors, and in the match. It was all a ploy to beat the crap out of Brian Cage. But that's not what's said, right? What we understand as the viewers is Cage looks like an idiot, moron, extraordinaire. He fell hook, line, and sinker into Johnny's plan, as convoluted as it all is in the end. Happened nonetheless. And yet, Johnny Impact looks like a cocky son of a bitch. And as he should. So fine. If this turn happened in like the end of January and not mid-March or mid-January, you know, shortly after Homecoming, totally different reaction, totally different crowd reaction, totally different character development. You know, Johnny has character then at that point. So, what's even better is after Johnny turns heel, takes out Cage, he cinder block chair shots. So a cinder block is posted up against Brian's skull side. Johnny Impact chair shots this to take him out. Got a decent pop from the crowd and a little gasps. Where does Impact take it from here 1 week later with such a interesting storytelling event? Nowhere. Except one where. Sawyer Fulton, aka Madman Fulton, billed from Ohio, joins OVE, so that's cool. Because Callahan got rolled up by Swan. Swan retained the X Division title at 15 minutes. Sure. OVE's kind of giving me these Raven Flock vibes, but less interesting. You know, I do love Callahan. And that's all that happened. Johnny Impact cuts a promo about the fans not believing in him, so it's your atypical heel pro. You didn't believe in me. I don't need you guys, blah, blah, blah. So needless to say, with my new schedule and Impact not wowing me anymore, I gotta drop Impact Boys. But let's be honest, this is probably gonna happen anyways. Impact is boring. Like, I can watch things like WCW 2000, some of these things in WWE days just because they're just so ridiculous and you just talk about it and you laugh about it. Impact doesn't even have that going on. So, done. I'm out. Impact's gone. So. And with that, you will hear me back in about a couple hours to talk about WCW Thunder and the wrestler rankings. Hey, JD is back here yet again with more indie wrestling, and I am not alone. I am joined by my good friend, joining me all the way from the SmackDown podcast and the Modern Gaming podcast edition of the Red Leaf Retrocast. Jay, you're back.
Hey man, how's it going?
You're back for more.
I'm back for more. Oh man, we have lots of things to cover. Two
Holy
freaking
shit.
tournaments. It's crazy.
2 tournaments. We're starting off with Stardom, hence the Mayu Iwatani music. Then we got 2 chapters of progress. Very underwhelming compared to what we've been having lately. OTT's biggest show of the year happened with a match of the year candidate. WXW had their biggest event of the year, 16 Carat Gold, and its tournament involved. And we rounded out up with the New Japan Cup of 2019. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You're here for the best parts. So, just starting off really fast with Stardom. I know I've been trying to get UJ to watch a bunch of Stardom, or at least give it a try. You know, there's only enough time in the day for so much. How much Stardom were you able to watch the Jungle Kiona Momo Watanabe match yet for the white belt?
Nope, because your account was being silly.
I don't think so. I think you're being silly.
Let's just go to mutual ground here and say something was being silly.
My theory is that Stardom
That I was being silly? That's you've already said that.
Well, my theory is Stardom was in the midst of upgrading their site, which they did fairly recently. So I think like the timing was just off there. But nonetheless,
Told you something was being silly.
Nonetheless, last we left off was the amazing White Belt Defense show. Definitely go check that one out. And since then, we've been kind of building towards a Night Korakuen show at the end of March, which just started being pumped out today, in fact. So we're getting a little bit of a house show vibe here from Stardom. Everything's building towards this night show. So we have a couple Shinkiba shows, and then their Osaka Day show, aka otherwise known as Grow Up Stars 2019. So a little highlight on some of the young talent over in Stardom. So Jay, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna run through what happened in rapid fire. Give some quick thoughts.
Go ahead.
All right. So newcomer Andress Miyagi from Sendai Girls. That's Meiko Satomura's promotion. The big story here is she pinned Momo Watanabe in the Oedo Tai versus Queen's Quest Trios match. And Momo was not having it. She hadn't lost or gotten pinned in like 9 months, Jay. It's been a long time. Yeah. So
yep.
She immediately gets on the mic and she's not happy. She even references how she hasn't been pinned in a very long time, that she doesn't even remember the last time. So she wants a revenge shot at Miyagi, whether it's for her title or not. So there's your white belt title match set at some point in the future of Miyagi versus Momo Watanabe, going for defense number 12, which she's already broken the record. That was at the previous show. So Miyagi's the taller, stronger new person in town. So very possible that between now and the New York show that I'm going to, which I'm very excited for, we could be looking at a new Wonder of Stardom champion.
Are you excited?
I am excited. I think Momo has proven herself to be among the new, between her and Mayu and Kagetsu being at that top level of Stardom. She can move on from the white belt and get that World of Stardom title under her wing from now on. So I'm very excited for
which one's that? Is that the red one?
The red one is the World of Stardom, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The main event of the Shinkiba show was the high-speed title match. So think of just their cruiserweight title, so to say. It's just non-stop action, no rest holds, that kind of deal. It was a triple threat match featuring Hazuki, Azumi, and Konami. Probably, Jay, the best 5-minute match one can find in recent times.
Really?
Yeah. It was just non-stop, 3 hard-kicking machines going at each other, followed by just fast pin roll-ups, just rapid fire. And then out of nowhere, Hazuki just pulls a fast one, right? And post-match, she puts a cocky promo out. She's like, yeah, I knew both of you weren't worthy of my time one-on-one. I got an okay match out of you guys. I'm reading behind the words kind of deal. I got an okay match out of you guys when I faced both of you at once, so it was very fitting to her character that's being developed and how she doesn't really care about being the high-speed champion, but she cares just enough where if she's to lose, she wants to bring the title up a bit, to make it worth her time. It's kind of interesting. Think of like a Naito IC title run. It's like, I fucking hate this. I was gonna
say like Nakamura when he elevated the other one.
Yeah, I'm if Hazuki was like chucking the title, not giving a shit, it would fit the character right now.
Right.
It's pretty funny. Later in the night, we get a super hilarious Natsu Sumire promo, because the story is Oedo Tai wants all the titles in Stardom, but Natsu is kind of the Chase Owens of the group, where she always seems to get pinned, but she's also kind of the comic relief of the group. Right? Mm-hmm. Not as good as everyone else. So Oedo Tai kind of looks at her and she's like, Natsu, you need to kind of challenge for a belt here. So she puts on a promo of she can't find a title to challenge for. Like the rookie belt. She's too old to challenge for that, because that's either you need to be a rookie or under, I think it's like 20 years old. Well, she's too old for that, so she couldn't do that. She kind of whistles. She's like, I knew that. How about she looks at Utami, the up-and-comer. She's like, you got all these belts. She's kind of the belt collector of Stardom and Eve right now. She's like, give me one of your belts. Well, she can't challenge for the Eve title because that's over in Eve. Utami can't really just give out title shots for a belt of a promotion she's not in currently. She's like, shit, can't do that. So then she looks over at Miyagi. She's like, come here, come in the ring. Tag partner! We're going for the tag belts. Miyagi's like, I guess, okay. So that's... And Momo and Utami, they're the tag champs. They go... I guess we'll accept. We've beaten everybody else, so why not? I was cracking up during this segment. It was so funny.
So is this Queen's Quest, or?
Momo and Utami are part of Queen's Quest, yes.
Right.
Yeah, Natsu and Miyagi are part of Oedo Tai. That they're kind of the Imagine Suzuki-gun if they had a comedy act to them, as well as their kind of cheating persona, you know?
I can picture that. All good.
Then we move on to Grow Up Stars 2019, the Osaka Day Show. Just a fun teaser, mixes of tag matches, really. You get continual hype of various title matches, including Momo's next defense versus Miyagi, plus the tag title match with Miyagi's involved in. Interesting enough, Oedo Tai loses their little match as Kagetsu, the World of Stardom champion, by the way. I haven't seen her pinned in a while. She gets pinned by the large luchadora Goya Kong. She's just a very large Mexican girl. By large, I mean in every way, up and wide.
Right.
Yeah. She cuts a promo in Spanish. My Spanish is really rusty, but, you know, the gist is, I'm coming for your belt, bitch, kind of deal. And she throws it on her chest and walks away. So, you know, if that's a match, I don't want to see that match in New York personally, but for a tour show of Stardom in Japan, I'd watch that. I'm being selfish.
Yeah.
I want to see something better.
Just because you're going to the show, you just want to be selfish.
Exactly. I think it's my right to be selfish. I want to see something good. I'm not a fan of large luchadoras, to be honest. Unless it's Lady Apache. She's kind of the exception to the rule, just because she has so much charisma in the ring. That's my take.
Is that the lady that we saw from Triple A last year?
Yeah, that got scalped really bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Then the main event, trios, is a trios match, Stars versus Queen's Quest. B. Priestley pins Saki Kashima. And the interesting story is B. Priestley used the Japanese Ocean Cyclone Suplex. For those that don't know, that is Manami Toyota's signature move, or one of them at least. And Manami Toyota was very upset about it. She even posted to Twitter that using the move without her consent is not only dishonoring the move and herself, but it's also disrespecting the wrestlers to whom she has handed the move down to, because it's kind of a dangerous move in a lot of ways. It's an electric chair drop, and then you just drop backwards via German suplex style. So you can easily like crack someone's neck on if you bend too much to it, or the wrestler that's on your shoulders, they bend too much. So there's a way. The move was handed down to Tsukasa Fujimoto, who is the Ice Ribbon mainstay, and Ikuto Hidaka. Those are the two wrestlers. So I've already seen another post where B. Priestley has already used the move a second time, so it's definitely not a misunderstanding. I think she just thinks the move is, it's one of the best wrestlers of all time, Manami Toyota, and she just wants to use her move. Pretty simple. You have any thoughts over this?
No, I don't really know what's going on besides what you've told me, so there's nothing really that I can think about or try to work out in my head, so no.
Fair
I might watch a New York show, though, if it's good.
You should watch the New York show anyways, and then look for me in the audience, and my dad, and we're just like, we're probably going to be pretty trash before we even go to the show.
I picture drunk JD and a father sitting there like, yay, Japanese women, woo!
Yay. Well, I did supposedly read that Oedo Tai and Mayu Iwatani are going to be at G1 Supercard, which is interesting because it's going to be New Japan and Japanese women.
I think that G1 Supercard's got the Ring of Honor Women's Championship being defended.
Supposedly. And since Mayu successfully defended it against Kelly Klein, jeez, successfully at the anniversary show, which was a good booking decision. I'm not sure who she's going to face. Maybe it's going to be Kagetsu.
It says on here again, it's Mayu Iwatani versus Kelly Klein again for the Women of Honor Championship.
Oh, God. I don't want to see that.
They've added a bunch of matches to this card, by the way, like friggin' ZSJ versus Tanahashi for the British heavyweight title.
That's
You've got
confirmed.
now.
That's not confirmed.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was confirmed on Twitter this morning. Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna love that match.
Because ZSJ was tweeting out about it. Then you got like Gorillas of Destiny versus Villain Enterprises versus LIJ, as in Evil and Sonata, versus the Briscoes in a ladder war for both tag titles.
So it's a 4-way ladder war?
Correct. You excited? You've also got
isn't it a ladder match for the Ring of Honor title as well?
It's for both. It's for both sets of tag titles.
I mean, ladder match is my favorite. That just seems kind of weird that we're getting 2 ladder matches on the same card.
You're not getting two ladder matches on the same card.
You just said there's a ladder war for the tag titles.
Yeah, it's a ladder war for the tag titles. Like, it's both IWGP and ROH tag titles are on the line.
Yeah, I know, but the Ring of Honor title itself, Jay Lethal, Matt Taven, and Skrull are also in a ladder match.
I don't know. Just says.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. When it takes all. No, it's not a ladder war. My bad. I thought it was.
Okay. Whew. So it's just a fatal four-way ladder or a fatal four-way tag title match.
Correct, and then you've also got a Naito Ibushi for the IC title.
Is that confirmed too?
Yes, it was.
And that's going to be a very large card.
Yeah, there's like 12 matches or 13 on there already.
Yeah.
No, it's 11. So you've got, just to run through the card quickly, you've got the Honor Rumble, if you care about that. Ospreay, Cobb, title versus title. Roosh and Dalton Castle. Iwatani versus Kelly Klein. Bully Ray versus to be announced.
Right.
The junior title match, Ishimori, Dragon Lee, and Bandito. The Fatal 4-Way. The Fatal 4-Way tag match, ZSJ versus Tanahashi for the British heavyweight title. Naito Ibushi, Lethal Skull Taven in a ladder match, and Jay White versus the winner of the New Japan Cup.
Which we'll get to later in the show here.
That's why I didn't say who it was.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink,
yeah.
wink.
Stick around, we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. Well, all right. Get there. Jay, you have an echo on your end again.
Well, I can't turn you down any further because if I do, I won't be able to hear you.
Well, I guess we'll just go with it, see what happens. Okay. Well, quick drop here, and we can move on to Progress Wrestling. Oh, where's my drop, Jay?
I don't know, man. Where's your drop?
Oh, no. There it is.
I'll make a drop. Haven't done it yet.
Alrighty. We got Progress Wrestling. We got Chapter 85, Progonaut. Chapter 86, Corrupted Harmony. Just, when you watch the shows and go through the card, what was your reaction or thoughts over both cards? Okay.
These shows are literally just pretty much filling in time until Super Strong Style 16 and Bread Knife.
Yeah, really no doubt about that one. The main events of both shows were good. There's a couple good matches in there mixed in. I'm not saying they're horrible cards, but they really gave off that filler kind of vibe. They weren't, to me, this is where Progress kind of lacks a lot of the times, is there's not enough substance behind the wrestling.
Yeah, but even a bad Progress card, not saying there's bad cards, but even an average Progress card is still fun to watch.
Yeah, well, you're not overexposed to the wrestlers on a weekly basis. This is a monthly basis.
Unless it's Eddie Dennis, because screw Eddie Dennis.
Yeah, he's a good promo, but his wrestling style just doesn't do anything for me. I feel like
he's just tall.
Yeah, I feel like, with the exception of what we saw out of him last year, because he was just doing promos, then we finally got to see him in the ring at Wembley in that TLC match against Mark Andrews. All of those promos culminated together. It had a good story. I think that's the best we're ever going to see of Eddie Dennis, personally.
Yeah, what do you think he uses his guaranteed match on?
Post Super Strong Style 16, whoever wins that match, whether it's Walter or the winner, just to get heat. I don't know. He's a babyface all of a sudden. It's really weird, to the point that even the heels of Progress are calling him out on it. Why are you fans cheering for this asshole all of a sudden? It makes no sense. So
yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah. So we're both in the same boat on Eddie Dennis. But let's just go through Progonaut really quick. Just some of the highlights here. DJZ beats ELP for a spot in Super Strong Style 16. So I'm sad to see ELP lose. For those that don't know, ELP is El Phantasmo. who's new member of Bullet Club, by the way, over in New
Yeah,
Japan.
he's got bigger things on the horizon.
He's got bigger things, so progress is like in the back of his head. He's just kind of here for a couple shows. But DJZ apparently signed an NXT contract, so honestly, sure, his light up gear gimmick coming to the ring was before Mustafa Ali, who's now just known as Ali, which is hilarious. Way to devalue a wrestler immediately. But anyways, he's just gonna come across as a dude that's just copying the guy on the main roster, you know, even though he was first.
Yeah, but he was good in Impact, if I'm not mistaken.
He's very good in Impact. Just Impact has gone the wayside, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the United We Stand show is decent. It's like got a bunch of different promotions on there, so fingers crossed.
That will be better. I think. Your bold statement, Jay. You ready for this?
All right, go ahead.
The United We Stand Impact show is going to be Impact's best show of 2019.
Well, let's put money on that.
$1 and a beer?
$1 and a beer. Let's do it.
$1 and a beer. All right.
But then, like, their best show could be, like, personally, like, you could say it's their best show, but I could think, like, something else is their best show. Because I can tell you one thing right now, it's definitely not Homecoming.
No, it's not going to be. And it's not going to be Rebellion, which is coming up. I mean, Bound for Glory. We'll see.
Maybe Slammiversary.
Slammiversary was easily their best show last year. I think that's non-debatable. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, DJZ gets a spot in Super Strong Style 16, as does Jordan Devlin, who beat Evolve champion Austin Theory. Mr. Loser of the weekend. Evolve champion Austin Theory.
Yeah, but dude, it's the Evolve title.
Well, I think that speaks more to the state of Evolve and the Evolve title at this point.
Yep.
It's
how long until he shows up in NXT?
I give it 6 months.
How long until Evolve just fold into NXT?
I have been waiting for WWE, or at least Triple H, to buy Evolve for the past like a year and a half.
And then he can have a feeder system for NXT, so he's got Evolve, and then he's got his NXT. Exactly,
and Evolve can just be the little house show circuit to increase ways to utilize the wrestlers, which they're kind of doing already. And it's no secret that Evolve ticket prices and interest in that promotion have gone down.
Yeah.
And I went to their recent Evolve show. I got to see Velveteen Dream. He's cool. He's super over. But like, when you're seeing, this is the vibe of the audience, and it's very clear. You pop for Velveteen Dream because he's the big deal, right? But now that all the Evolve mainstays who aren't going to NXT or want to be in NXT or have that word into NXT right now, they all left, right? All of those, like Chris Dickinson, LAX, I guess Darby Allin's still there.
Darby Allin.
But I get who else? There's one other guy. Tracy Williams. Tracy Williams was like really outspoken in his disdain for how Evolve was treating their mainstays. Like if you don't want to buy into the NXT hope, that you're just not going to be on the card. So a lot of those guys were kind of they were booted out / left. So Evolve is in a bad state right now, be in this NXT feeder group, because all you're seeing is the guys like not good enough to be on NXT TV that are treated as not big deals, but yet they get over the Evolve guys. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Got on a little Evolve tangent there. But yeah, Devlin wins. Millie McKenzie earns her spot in the Fatal 4-Way match at Strong Style 16. That's becoming a little annual thing at Strong Style 16. There's a Fatal 4-Way match for the women's title. I kind of like that. I kind of like a little tradition, you know?
Is this when they take the title off of Jordan Grace?
I think so.
Who do you give it to?
Looks like it's going towards Nina Samuels.
I don't want it to be Nina Samuels.
Well, the story being told with Nina Samuels, breaking away from Ginny and her group. Ginny, as we saw, 86 getting a new member. Nina Samuels being the Eve champion. There's something to go off there. Jordan Grace isn't a Progress mainstay. She has been defending the title in the West, in North America, more to kind of give the title a little showcase, which is nice. That's always a good thing.
It's a nice looking belt.
Yeah, it's nice. Absolutely. So, Ginny does come out mid-match, tries a distraction, then beats up Millie McKenzie with her shoe. I quite like that. Ginny's great. I love Ginny.
I mean, Millie McKenzie is also busy in Japan with Sendai Girls being the next junior champion.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Grace is probably going to be going after the Impact title here soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe it'll be Laura Di Matteo as the other member. I could see them putting it on her or Nina. I don't know. We'll work this out.
We'll see. We had the main event of Haskins, Havoc, and Eddie Dennis, as they've had issues with Do Not Resuscitate. They were in a trios match. Really fun main event.
Yeah, it was good. It was a car crash, and I liked it.
It was definitely a car crash. Fucking Jimmy Havoc chucks Pastor William Ever off the balcony, and then he jumps himself.
He sure does. But he dropped Eva off backwards, and that was a dangerous spot.
Good God. I was like, all right, you made my night, guys. Progonaut was worth it.
Before I'd even seen that show, I assumed that was going to be a balcony spot because of some little thing that Progress and Jimmy Havoc were teasing on Twitter. It's there was a thing there saying no balcony dives in the arena. Yeah. They took a photo of it and then a sad Jimmy Havoc.
It was definitely easily the highlight of the night. The little story in the match was Haskins gets a quote unquote arm shoulder injury early, so he kind of goes to the back. Makes a valiant return only to be the downfall of the group because he was the weak link. DNR sees it, they pin him, they get the win. So the heel group gets the win as they kind of take a lot of falls individually, but as a group they win. So that's kind of their story there. I quite like that. But to me, the takeaway was definitely in Bournemouth. It was their first one. The place and the architecture was really cool. The balcony dive, I loved it. It all kind of worked together. I hope they go back. I really liked that place in Bournemouth.
Unless they're banned there for doing balcony dives.
Yeah, they might be banned there.
Did you ever watch the Havoc versus Ospreay doco?
Oh yeah.
There was that point in there when they were saying with Ospreay's moonsault off the balcony that the dude who owns the Electric Ballroom was there. It was funny. Also, Ospreay headbutted knocked out a goat, so that's something.
Ospreay can knock down a goat, something Jimmy Havoc can't say he has done.
Indeed. Jimmy Havoc versus a goat confirmed for Super Strong Style 16.
In a death match.
Yes.
Jimmy Havoc comes out with a T-Rex inflatable thing next to him. He's like, I got you, goat.
He comes out as a white man like he did against Paul Robinson at friggin' the Wembley show.
Oh, the man made of ash.
Yeah.
All right, Chapter 86. Not much to say here, so I'll just go through it really quick. As I mentioned earlier, Jenny introduces a new member, a la Casey Owens, to her team, and they win the trios match. Jimmy Havoc and Mark Haskins with Vicky Haskins defeat Team White Wolf. Enjoyable.
Yes, very, very, very enjoyable. A-Kid is brilliant.
I love A-Kid. Carlos Romo is getting better. He's rough at times. He's still young. He's developing. He's more the high flyer of the two, while A-Kid is very technical and grounded. So they complement each other well. They clearly have chemistry together. It's just, working out the kinks here and there. They're getting way better. Super Strong Style 16 qualifying match yet again. Chris Ridgway defeats Spike Trevay. So this is the whole DNR can't win individually. As a group, they can. So, two things here I want to say. Super Strong Style looking stacked more and more with guys like Travis Banks, DJZ, Jordan Devlin, and now Ridgeway definitely in it. This thing's looking good, Jay.
It is. It's looking great. But is it too soon? Yeah, is it too soon in my life for another tournament? These are questions that will be answered in May.
No, because it's 2 months away.
Well, I'll be the judge of this.
So here's a thought. Here's a question. Are you familiar with William Evers' new little gimmick where he has a mic, and as the music's playing, he kind of yells into it and swallows it really bad so you can't understand what he's saying?
I'm familiar with that gimmick, but no, I don't understand what he's talking about.
This whole thing is lost in me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm just kind of scratching my head going, why are you doing this?
Because it's annoying and he's getting heat.
See? I can't tell.
Is it him or is it the group that's getting hate?
It's definitely not him. It might be the group. But this whole entrance thing is supposed to get heat. It's just not coming across as that to me at all.
Well, it'd be helpful if we could understand what he was saying.
I just want to mute more than anything, so I just click the mute because it's just coming across as all the time.
Imagine if William Ever, we could understand him, right? And then would it be better?
So take Zach Gibson's entrance, and he grabs the mic, and people boo him. So you don't understand him, right?
If you hate Gibson, take your shoes off.
In this William Ever stuff he's doing, because the entrance music's playing so loud and he's swallowing the mic, you don't get any reaction from the audience. The viewer gets like absolutely nothing out of it. It just sounds like garbled noise. Like nothing's enjoyable about it, or even a way to get heat. It's a very flawed idea. So I say stop it.
Fair enough.
Non-title match, Trent Seven defeats Austin Theory. I did like how Austin Theory was doing his whole interrupting Smallman in his intro, constantly making him seem like a big deal, and Trent Seven just takes the mic and he just goes, "You are so American."
Yep.
Please, I get it. You great body though.
Yep.
That was good. And Trent Seven pulls off a decent kind of one-liner promo where he goes, "Look, I got the biggest match of my career coming up. You're the Evolve champion." He kind of he gives credit to the champion, right? He goes, "Look, biggest match of my career coming up, unifying the titles here, Strong Style 16, day 2. I'm not risking my title against someone of your caliber. Sorry, mate. But we can have a match and see what happens, right?" So that kind of hints like, if you beat me now, future title shot yours kind of deal, right?
Yep.
Well, needless to say, Trent Seven still beats Austin Theory, so it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to Evolve.
I think with that promo, I think Austin Theory should have gone over here.
Yeah, but you need to make Trent look strong so that if or when he loses or beats Walter, it'll mean something.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say Trent Seven loses here. Whether he beats Walter or not at Strong Style 16, that gives Theory carte blanche to be number 1 contender first, right? Or for Walter, or he's number 1. He's immediately number 1 contender for 7 because he's beaten him and he's the most recent guy to beat him. And 7 coming out with this promo saying, "I can't risk this because you're a good wrestler." If he gets beaten, I don't think it decredits 7 as much as it elevates Theory, Because Seven has gone on this open challenge thing and beaten countless guys already. One loss wouldn't totally hurt the guy.
Yeah, but like it's I still think you need to build him up for Walter.
I think if you're going to do that, I think he needs better opponents than Austin Theory at that point.
Once again, shout out to Evolve.
Then we had a 6-man tag match, trios match, under lucha rules. So guy rolls out the ring, another guy comes in, and he's now legal. That's the whole thing. Newly formed, or back together, however you want to put it, South Pacific Power Trip Niwa, who I've seen in CMLL every now and again. But now he's in Progress with TK Cooper and Travis Banks. They defeat the very fun team of Angelico and ELP and Jordan Devlin. Okay, I'm not going to lie. ELP and Angelico? Goddamn, that's a match made in heaven.
Would you like to see them go after the tag titles?
I want to see them tag as much as possible. I don't care how.
ELP has bigger things on the horizon.
I don't care where. Angelico and ELP need to be a team. They have their gimmicks complement each other. Their styles complement each other. Hell, I even think they look a little alike.
So what you're trying to say is Angelico is ELP's dad.
Who's older?
I think ELP is younger than than Angelico, man.
The match was a little sloppy. The end was really bad. How the match ended, the crowd just kind of died, and then the show's over. SPP wins.
SPP wins. Was the match kind of sloppy? I feel like it was kind of sloppy. Yeah.
They tried a lot of lucha stuff, but they kind of flopped around and missed each other. A lot of miscommunication. Just not used to each other at all, especially Niwa, because he's just worked with all these luchadors. And yeah, I mean, Angelico and ELP, they have that background, sure. They're just unfamiliar with each other. That's what it came across. It's a good example of this is not highly practiced promotion, that they do only get, their 1 or 2 times a month to go against each other. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you know that Angelico was a former Shotgun champion?
I probably forgot that.
Yeah, he won it in a match against Emil Sitochi, Phoenix, and Pentagon. Fatal 4-ways for the win.
That would have been back then, yeah. Okay.
Then he dropped to David Starr at Shortcut to the Top 2017.
Yes, okay. I know the time. I know exactly the time frame now. Looking for the next drop. We can move on to OTT. Having trouble finding it. I thought I had it made. Huh. Well, anyways, I'll just play this one and we can move on. Alright, OTT Scrappermania 5, the Irish promotion's biggest show of the year, highly anticipated, headlined by Walter v. Devlin 2, had this whole Buster Douglas Tyson type build to it, where Walter's just unbeatable, undefeated champion. Devlin is the no-brain local hero kind of situation that one punch can deck the madman. But before we get to this, we got quite the card to go through.
Oh boy, yes we do. Yes we do.
So this is your second OTT experience, correct, Jay?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. What did you think of this card compared to, say, Homecoming?
Dude, this card was like it was a lot better than Homecoming.
It was a lot better. I mean, there is a reason why it's its biggest show of the year. Not a single match to me. Well, one match disappointed, but all the others delivered on all fronts what they should have been. Loved it. I loved Scrappermania 5 more than 4, I will say.
What was the main event of 4?
It was... Oh. Was it... Evelyn... I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember. It's been a year.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I know Minoru Suzuki faced Keith Lee in Scrappermania 4. And I believe...
Did we get to bask in his glory?
We did bask in his glory, but I think Keith Lee lost, if memory serves.
I mean, Suzuki is Suzuki, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And I believe we got Riddle against Ospreay at 4 as well. That was really
that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was for a long... I believe it made my top 10 indie matches of last year. I believe. Well, okay. We started off with a 4-way tag team match. It was your... when I say indie wrestling, where it's just a car crash of moves, just go out and do it, well, here it is. You had Aussie Open defeating the team of Angelico and Ray Horace against Club Tropicana, which is Aiden Epic and Captain Sexy. I love their gimmick. It's fucking hilarious. And then the besties in the world, Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett. Not a fan of that team. The theme of Scrappermania 5 this year was Ireland versus the world, or OTT versus kind of deal.
I didn't pick up on that, but now that you mention it, it's true.
Yeah, so it was a foreigner essentially against a local guy. So kind of playing off the whole every babyface was a promotion original or a local guy or an Irish dude. So, or Liger, yeah. Well, I mean, Scotty Davis was the babyface in that. But God, we'll get to that match.
The crowd love Liger.
Jesus Christ. All right. But yeah, Aussie Open win. Funny enough, they're wearing their black gear.
Yeah, the Schadenfreude gear.
Schadenfreude gear. So I'm very curious as to if that's hinting towards Schadenfreude, like European NWO invasion going on.
We'll touch on that in a bit too.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get to WXW. Okay. 6-man tag team match, more than hype. 6-man tag team match. Darren Kearney, LJ Cleary, and Nathan Martin facing The Rapture, which is Charlie Sterling, Shaw Samuels, and Zach Gibson. So think of like the Grizzled Young Vets, but the Irish version of it, right?
With Gibson.
The story here is More Than Hype are on this just crazy losing streak. They can't win a match, but they're super over with the crowd because the crowd just want them to win so bad. And they did. They finally fucking won.
They did.
A little sloppy match, but it was fun.
It did.
Yeah. Then we had a 4-on-3 handicap match.
This was ridiculous.
Okay, so for those that are unfamiliar, the Angel Cruisers are your comedy tag team, and they are ridiculous. If you remember from our podcast last year talking about Scrappermania 4, this was the one where I was talking to Rad and I go, let me break this down for you. We had a machine gun, AK-47, and a samurai sword break out in this match, in which I believe it was Zach Gibson caused Angel Cruz to tap out because he was going to chop off one of the Angel Cruisers' backup dude's hands off if he didn't tap out. Like, that's how the match ended. So there's your setup. Jay, tell me about how this match went down and how it was built.
No, you do it because you could probably explain it better than I can. I suck at explaining things, you know this.
All right, so every year, or at least every major kind of story built revolving around the Angel Cruisers. Last year, Scrapmania 5 had like an evil G.I. Joe villain try to blow up the arena where Scrappermania was being held. the National Arena in Dublin. Well, this year it's that dude's son who's Mini-Me essentially, but he's Mini-Mo, right? But before all that goes down, it opens up with Angel Cruz and Be Cool has the owner of OTT tied up in a chair and they're threatening his ass. And then they just fucking shoot him. And then Be Cool just Angel Cruz looks at Be Cool. He's like, "What the fuck was that?" And Be Cool just goes, "You wouldn't give us a title shot." And they're just like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's fair." He shows up later in the show. It's fine. He didn't actually die. Don't be silly. Well, Mini-Mo shows up. He's going to go blow up the arena. They get gassed and taken into like James Bond style custody in a back room. There's this big dude. Think of like Jaws from James Bond. He's gonna beat him up. Well, they Angel Cruz's best friend, that he gets him out of the tied behind the chair. Shenanigans go down. Funny fight scenes of one dude being replaced with an inflatable doll version of themselves, and they just kind of chuck him real hard against the wall and stuff. At one point, the big dude kicks the dog and makes the bow, but it's clearly an inflatable version of the dog. It cuts to them in the parking lot just running over the inflatable version of Mini-Mo, acting like they killed him. They back over him a couple times. They get to the arena, and because it's a handicap match, who is here to even the odds, Jay?
Hurricane?
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through! Very fitting. Very fitting. Needless to say, the babyface team wins. Angel Cruisers finally get a win.
Dude, there's a lawnmower spot in this as well.
There's a what spot?
There's a lawnmower spot in this too.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, they're on stage, and I believe it's Be Cool gets a lawnmower. He
runs over Rick.
And he runs over Rick the Prick. He runs over his hand. That takes him out. They tie one of the I think it was Sammy D to the post with a belt, like neck first. So he's like totally out of the equation. Fucking nuts. The match is less than 10 minutes. It's fucking crazy.
It's silly. It's so good though.
I'm glad that was the only comedy match on the whole show. Like that's all the comedy you need, really. Small doses, please.
Indeed. Alrighty, next up we had Dan Barry versus David Starr.
Yeah.
Dude, Dan Barry is back, and he is over an island.
Jesus Christ, he is over.
Yes, he is.
For someone who's as slow in the ring, but smooth as butter, like that's all you need. Dan Barry, I'm not a huge Dan Barry fan, but hey, if you're fucking over, you're over, right? Go with it. And Dan Barry's over AF, right?
Indeed.
And David
Not
Starr,
as over as Devlin, but he's still pretty over.
Right. And David Starr is the opposite. He is hated AF.
Yeah, it has something to do with him also singing The Foggy Dew.
Yeah, and for those that are unfamiliar with The Foggy Dew, that is kind of the song that's synonymous with St. Patrick and St. Patrick's Day. So much so that when David Starr came out to it, like you could see and hear when the camera panned over the audience, they just like, "Oh, that's fucked up." Everyone's giving him the middle finger. Did my Irish accent do anything for you?
A little bit. Are you Irish?
Okay. Did my best there.
Are you Irish, my friend? Are you Irish?
I'm a little bit Irish at times, yes. But David Starr fucking kills Dan Barry at the end.
Yes, he does.
Like, good God. Good God.
Rest in peace, Dan Barry.
Man. So, Dan Barry's over, even though he lost. Star gets his heat and credibility. Could be looking at David Starr in the title picture, I think, sooner rather than later, with stuff like this going down.
Yeah, so I was thinking that too. Glad you brought that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's
keep an eye out for that.
Let's move on then through the next couple matches here right fast. So Meiko Satomura defeats Session Martina in a very good women's match. They had a very good hype package behind Session Martina's downfall in the cage match from Homecoming 2. How she took it personally, how she wants to prove that she's not just a joke act. She's been improving. She's gone over to like Stardom and Sendai Girls and improved her craft and has become a better wrestler. She took losing the tag titles as her fault, so it really made her credible, you know. And
yep,
just like a match that we saw later on the card, facing someone of legit credibility and stature in Meiko Satomura. Like, you couldn't hate Meiko Satomura. It was this gatekeeper role. And to me, this match proved two things. That Martina's not a joke, but she still has ways to go.
Yeah. Progress are using it recently, and she's silly over there, so, you know.
Well, but this is OTT. And in Ireland, Martina is very over. She is incredibly loved. And the story not being over here, I think, is fitting for her character redemption in her being serious. So I could see a story building off this where Martina racks up a couple wins at some big shows over the next few months and then challenges for the title in the future. I think that's a good build.
She might even take it over Raven.
Yeah. We had the OTT Tag Team Title 6-man match in a loser leaves town match. So interesting development here.
Yeah, because British Strong Style lose and they're banished back to NXT.
Well, it's British Strong. Well, first of all, it's a 6-man tag match, a trios match for the tag titles. So I guess it's like a double Freebirds rule situation, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The Kings of the North are your tag champs. They're the ones that we saw retain the tag titles in that kind of underwhelming cage match.
Yeah. Now they got Duncan Disorderly with them.
Yeah. This is interesting, though. Another loser leaves town match where you just assume that the guys signed to WWE, essentially, are just automatically losing. And yet that's not what we got here, Jay.
Yes. It was a very one-sided match as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Kings of the North just got fucking destroyed out of the building. Like, no chance in hell. They did. It was. How long was the match? It was
like 10 minutes.
12 minutes of just British Strong Style beat the shit out of him in my eyes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Tyler Bate's got a new tattoo.
Yeah, he's got a new shoulder tattoo now to go along with his forearm and wrist. So here's a question, Jay.
Okay. Shoot.
And this kind of dawned on me once the match was over. So Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had their farewell match in progress because they've signed.
Okay, so you've got the same questions why are they here and not in progress?
Yeah. Yeah, so they had their farewell match at the end of December, right? /January.
Yeah, at
unboxing. With the full intention that they're not going to be there for a while. So if OTT plans on having Dunn and Bate there in the future, to me,
why can't progress?
That is the question. So to me, does this mean that the NXT UK contracts aren't what they seem?
I don't know. I want to know, I don't know.
Are there certain... Is it because this is Ireland and not the UK that they're allowed to do this?
Maybe?
That's the only
Could they
theory
show
I
up in
can...
WXW then? Because that's part of Europe.
Well, I mean, they've never been mainstays in Europe. While Pete Dunne is one of the longest reigning OTT champions, so I really think it's because it's Northern Ireland, or is it just shit? My Euro knowledge is fading me all of a sudden. But anyways, maybe it's because it's not part of the European Union.
Oh, I know, this whole situation confuses me.
Yeah, very interesting. I'll be paying attention to this. OTT women's title match: Raven Creed. She's real over, but has ways and ways to grow. Still defeats Debbie Keitel, another up and comer with Valkyrie. 6 minutes over. Moving on. Scotty Davis versus Juice and Thunder Liger. Holy shit, what a match.
Dude, this match was crazy, and I loved it. It was just like non-stop action.
Like, Liger is, why is he retiring again?
Yeah, he's how old again?
30?
29? 24.
God, you'd never know he's been wrestling that long, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, Scotty Davis, he wins. Liger puts him over. Fuck yeah, right? Pay attention to Scotty Davis. We mentioned this on the last cast when we talked about Homecoming 2. Like, Scotty Davis is no joke.
Yeah, for sure. Future OTT champion, I reckon.
God, yeah. Might not be this year. It's definitely in the future, though.
Yeah, it's a real passing of the torch moment here from Liger to Scotty Davis as well. Scotty Davis, dude, is the savior of Irish wrestling.
He's on his way to that title for sure.
It's only like 18 as well, which is crazy.
I say definitely go out of your way to watch this match. And if you like comedy, go out of your way to watch the Angel Cruisers handicap match.
It's silly.
And then naturally, the world title match, Devlin v. Walter 2, 21 minutes. What'd you think of this?
This match was also insane, and people should go out of their way to watch it.
Epic. Way I
also, Walter is a kaiju. Just saying that.
He certainly is.
Walter is a kaiju.
He's bigger than your average Irishman, that's for sure.
He sure is. I wouldn't exactly call Devlin your average Irishman.
He's well loved. He's the Irish ace, and he proved it here. Walter throwing the title down, stepping on it, true heel fashion. He don't give a shit about Ireland or its title, to the point where Devlin, whenever he got some momentum, Walter just wanted out. I loved the end booking of this match so much. Right?
When Walter's trying to escape and everyone, like the ghosts of the past, come back to haunt.
Yeah. They're all blocking off his various routes of escape. Just for
Ref
Devlin.
Refuses to count him out. Ref refuses to DQ him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried everything he could to get out of there with that title.
It was very fitting. It's a good story of the heel. Okay. I can compare this very well to how Walter took the title from Banks in Progress. Because Banks was pulling very similar things, right? The difference being was instead of Banks being like cut off by all the people he screwed over time, that match came off as a little bit flat because there just wasn't enough substance to it. This one had all the substance in the world, just even in the odds, giving Devlin the fair shot, and the whole Buster Douglas Downs Tyson. And that's how the match ended. It matched the package built up for the end. I loved it. It's a top 10 non-New Japan match of the year for sure.
So far, yes, but I mean, Mania weekend's coming up, dude.
Coming up, we'll see.
There's a lot of things on that weekend.
Definitely exciting.
We shall see.
Alright.
But yeah, no, dude, Scrappermania 5 was very good. Like, nothing in there dull at all. Everything was very enjoyable, and the card is definitely worth a watch.
Better way to check out some OTT. Something I didn't think I'd say last year.
Yeah. Something I didn't think I was going to say after watching that last card either.
Yeah. Alrighty. Drop here. Move on to WXW time.
That's right.
And that, my friends, Lucky Kid's music. You'll find out in a second why.
Because he is a lucky kid. He's a very lucky kid.
Lucky kid, lucky kid, lucky kid.
Lucky kid. No.
Oh my god.
Lucky kid.
Oh.
Yep.
So just want to get this out of the way.
I was going to say, where are we starting?
Well, let's just, for those that don't know what 16 karat gold is, WXW is...
Starters, it's not quite as good as 24 karat gold, because it's like 8 carats short.
Oh, please. So 16 karat gold is the biggest show of WXW's year calendar, right? This is their WrestleMania. This is their Wrestle Kingdom kind of deal. It's a 3-day event with a knockout tournament, New Japan Cup style, King of the Ring style segment, and then they have so night 1 is all the first round with a big first round matchup that they always make the main event. This year was Walter David Starr, because David Starr's history with the guy and he can't beat him. So night 2 is followed by the quarterfinal matches, right? And then they have various they usually have the shotgun title match, the tag title match, headlined by the world title match, and there's usually like some thing that happens on day 2 that gets you talking. Night 3 has various tag matches and 6-man tag matches of people that have been knocked out in the tournament that you get to see more, the semifinals, and the final is your main event. So there's your background of the 3 nights. There was a lot of criticism that came out of the tournament itself, and the big one was people that went to the event. If you had the general seating in the back, you had a bitch of a time seeing, because it wasn't an elevated place, right?
Okay, here's an idea. Don't wait for the last minute to buy your tickets, or, don't buy cheap seats.
Well, ironically enough, that's kind of what that's what WXW kind of hinted at to people that were complaining being way in the back. They go, look, balcony seats are always an option. Yeah, if you're shorter or are coming, they don't hike their tickets up like that. And VIP passes are always an option. I don't blame promotions for saying you should have bought the VIP pass if you want better seats. If you can't afford it and you want to go all 3 nights, obviously you want more bang for your buck. No one likes bad seatings, but you kind of have to also bite your tongue that if you're going to hold back money, you kind of have to go with the consequences. The arena that you're getting into. However, I will also say that with how big 16 karat gold has now become and how well these tickets sell with a full arena, maybe it's time for like night 2 specifically, and maybe night 3 you move it to a different location in which more people can see and get a better experience, and maybe you'll bring back more viewers. I don't know, it's just a thought. I'm sure they've thought of it. There's also some sort of home base situation. Turbina Hala is WXW's home. They want their biggest show to be at home. So I see the bright side of that as well.
Yep.
I will say I loved the stage setup, the entrance setup. I love that.
That was good.
Very slick. The tri screens, when the wrestlers are on screen, they had they left side they had one guy, right side the other. with the entrance package videos kind of split between the 3 screens. Cool stuff. Look, the quality just ceases to amaze me of what WXW puts out. So anyways, Jay, I want you to go through night 1, all the first round matches. Give me you saw all 3 nights. I'm very proud of you, by the way. I know that's a task to take on with your schedule.
Why thank you. But alright, so what have we got? Where is this thing on the list? That's night 3, that's night 2. Alrighty, so night 1, round 1 match. Axel Dietrich Jr. defeats Marcus Alani, their Shotgun champion, in what I would call sorry. I shut up. Yeah, Marius Alani. Yeah, in a decent match. 2 of them put on pretty good. Like, nothing really to talk about. Like, Axel Dietrich Jr. moves on. Yep. Match number 2 was a very good Lucha match with Phoenix and Ray Horace. Yep. If you like Lucha matches, check out this. It was very good.
So far, Phoenix, I was 2 for 2 in my bracket.
So Phoenix defeats Ray Horace. Alright, match number 3. Shingo, EDA, and Chris Brooks. I'm surprised that Brooks got eliminated so early, considering what happens on night 2.
Oh, we'll definitely get into that. I have a lot to say about that one. But I also had Irie winning because he's been the Euro mainstay. But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was a bad match or anything. I'm just saying I'm surprised, like, with what they're setting up.
3 for 3 in my bracket. How's your bracket looking?
I didn't do a bracket.
But you were 3 for 3 in predictions, I'm sure. Unless, well, yeah, you probably had those 3 guys winning, right?
Yeah, these 3 I would have. I didn't have this next one with Lucky Kid and Timothy Thatcher.
Not based on how all the builds were going.
No, with Timothy Thatcher, like, denouncing Ring Camp for the weekend and just being Thatcher and doing things for himself.
The video packages he's been having, the same one on Road to 16 Carat, just, you know, Ring Conf has been deciding things for themselves. It's time Tim Thatcher, think of me. This is a rematch from the quarterfinals last year where Thatcher beat Lucky Kid, by the way. I thought I remembered Kid rolling him up last year. I was incorrect. Thatcher beat Lucky Kid. So my bracket, Jay, I had Thatcher beating Lucky Kid again for the rematch, and then going on to systematically take out like all of Ring Conf. That was my thinking. Culminating against Walter, because that'll play into how he rolled up Walter at a previous show. Right?
Right.
So the story was all there. I was like, okay, we got Tim Thatcher. He's the crowd fucking loves him. WXW is his home now. He's gonna get the big push. The packages showed he's gonna get a big push. I was fucking wrong, wasn't I? Jesus Christ. He loses immediately to Lucky Kid. Lucky Kid rolls his ass up.
He's a lucky kid. He's a very lucky kid.
Oh my god. Bracket busted immediately on the 4th fucking match.
Bracket busting Chase Owens has some competition.
God damn it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Alright, well, surely Lucky Kid can't win after that. That'd be silly, right? Alright, what was after this match? Night 1.
So after this, we had Avalanche and Urine Simmons. And man, didn't Avalanche do such a balcony dive in this match in a Falls Count Anywhere match?
Yeah, it was like 5 feet.
Yeah, such a balcony dive. I don't know, man, but like it eclipsed the top rope.
I don't even think it was that high, but it was a Vader bomb off of the mini balcony in the Turbina Hala in their Falls Count Anywhere match. It was fine. It finished out their little story going around nice enough.
Yeah, it did. They went backstage with Christmas trees.
That was really funny.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, they were fighting. Like, Urine Simmons just shuts the door on the cameraman.
Yeah, and the cameraman opens it. Like, where the fuck did they go?
Yeah,
I really thought that because they lost sight of him, that we were gonna go like 2 matches more into the event, and then they were just gonna hit the ring and finish their match later.
Like they did at Road to 16 Carat.
Yeah, but Urine Simmons like couldn't get away in a car this time, and then they were gonna. But they ended up getting to the ring anyways and finishing the match. So whatever, it was fine.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Then we had Pentagon Jr. Beating Mark Davis in a slap-heavy match.
Yep, they slapped each other a lot. It was fine. Pentagon just had that crowd in the palm of his hands all week, all 3 days. Pentagon was Cero Miedo. Just the whole crowd was with. No denying Pentagon's popularity.
For sure. Ilya Dragunov beats Monster Muscle Daisuke Sakimoto.
Yeah, so besides the Lucky Kid match, I was doing fine in my bracket, right? This one confused me because Sekimoto is a former champion, but so is Dragunov. So to have this match in the first round, I kind of felt this was I don't want to say poor booking decision, but I felt like this would have been better for a quarterfinal or even semifinal match. You know?
Nah, man, Ilya had bigger things in mind. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we did. It makes sense with the overall thing, but having two former world champions go at each other in the first round, I don't know. It's kind of like that Ibushi Naito situation. You know, you don't want to see either guy go out so early.
Well, there's a handful of former champions in this tournament, though, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Jurn Simmons is a former champion. He went out in the first round as well. Your Shotgun champion went out in the first round.
He did.
Take that for what it's worth. It was still a really good match. I absolutely adored Dragunov and Sekimoto.
And then, dude, we had the main event of the first night. We had Walter versus David Starr.
Question.
In a very, very, very good match, which led to Walter doing some very heelish tactics.
He did. He got on his knees and kind of wanted David Starr. He kind of begged him off. David Starr's like, "What the fuck is this?"
I've got him. I'm gonna win. Whoa! Hey, what's your question?
Did you have David Starr winning this?
I did in my head.
I was very torn because I was thinking one of two things. I didn't have it in the end because I thought the Thatcher run was going to be a real thing, right? So I had David Starr losing. However, if David Starr was to beat Walter, I was like, the only way that's acceptable if he wins 16 Carat. So I was like, he went to the finals last year. There's probably a lot more to tell here with Walter. So I'm going to say he doesn't win. It's Thatcher's time. Well, obviously, Thatcher was wrong. So then, when we got to this match, I go, oh no. Is the other half of my bracket going to be busted now? Well, needless to say, the finish of this match was utterly brilliant.
It was. Walter tapped out.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, indeed.
Because his tap out was like signaling to the ref, look at my fucking foot under the rope.
Indeed it was.
Yeah. And David Starr has a meltdown. Right?
Indeed he does.
Like his mouth's busted open, he's spitting blood on the mat. Walter just goes out, he's like, yeah, fucking got his ass, right? Kind of playing against what he was saying, like he doesn't give a shit about David Starr. Well, he gives a shit just enough where he still wants to beat him and win. And Starr he gets on his hands and knees. There's Walter in the back. Good camera work, by the way. Great work. Where Walter is, triumphant on the stage, hands raised in the air, arms in the air, and David Starr is just on his knees looking at the mat. Like, fucking had him, man.
He's seething.
Just seething. And did you watch long enough to see David Starr interviewed by the English commentary team?
Yes, I did. He swore a lot.
He lost his goddamn mind. He started saying things like conspiracy, Walter tapped out, Tassilo Jung, the ref, was involved, Walter cares. Like, he had a mental breakdown. So
indeed he did.
I'm excited where this is going.
I don't know, but we shall find out soon. On to night 2. Killer Kelly and you, yes, you, JD, you beat Tony Storm and Wesner.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a just a pretty decent, fun opening tag match. Get the crowd all excited. Following on with 16 Carat, we had Ilya Dragunov versus Pentagon Jr. Pentagon gets eliminated in another slap-heavy match.
Yeah, that was Pentagon's thing. Was to go against the people that could chop hard.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Avalanche defeats Shingo Irie, which surprised me.
That surprised me as well. I did not have Avalanche going on this match. So, hell yeah to the big man.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was, big guy match. Fine.
Julian Pace defeats Chris Brooks and Daisuke Sakimoto and Rey Juarez. Post-match with a look... Post-match new look with Emil Stocci comes out and beats the hell out of Pace. Yeah,
we're back. You know, I had watched a couple 2008 events where Emil Satoshi had the jet black hair. He was the heel on an untamable one, right? Where he would just beat up the young dudes. So we're back to this gimmick, and I'm a fan of it. We haven't seen it in like 10 years, right? And it does play into Satoshi over the last year, just kind of being in the background. He couldn't get the tag titles won with anybody, being a good guy. He had that short little promo segment where he turned Avalanche down. He's like, I'm out of this. I'm tired of like all these dudes that I grew up with in this promotion being signed to big money contracts. Obviously, he's referencing Walter, Dieter, Dragunov, Axel Tischer, Tommy End, Zack Sabre. Yet there's really the only two guys left are Satoshi and Absolute Andy from that era, right? So he comes out. First of all, Julian Pace getting the win here was very surprising to me. And then Satoshi his music hits, and he just kicks the shit out of him. So cool. Wondering where this is going to lead to. I'm all for it. I haven't seen Satoshi relevant in a long time.
Fair enough. All right, dude, next up we had Walter destroying Pentagon's mask. No, not Pentagon's, Phoenix's mask.
Yeah, he powerbombed him straight out of it from the top rope.
I saw Phoenix's face. Did you see Phoenix's face?
Oh, yeah. He got a one of the WXW crews did eventually bring out a spare mask and chuck it to him. It almost looked like a fan threw a mask in the ring, but I'm pretty sure
that's what the commentary said.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the crew. But if
commentary said it was a fan, which is why I thought it was a fan.
Yeah, if a fan did it, even better. Kind of added to the match.
Yeah.
Walter fucking had him in a choke, and then he takes his mask off to make him tap. Confused, that should be a DQ.
It's not lucha.
I suppose it's not in Mexico or anything, so the same rules don't apply. So I guess I can get behind that. I'll be more forgiving. But heel Walter just moving on. Crazy, right?
Yeah, he's moving on up. Moving on up.
What is our next match?
Moving on up. Next up, we had Marcel Bartel, Axel Dieter Jr. versus one Lucky Kid.
Surely.
Is Lucky Kid still lucky?
Surely Axel Dieter Jr. has this in the bag, right?
Wouldn't you know what he does? He wins and he moves on to the next round.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on. Ringkampf, NXT sign guy? Come on. Fuck me! Lucky Kid wins again! What is going on here?
I don't know, man. It's confusing me.
Like, I popped out of my chair. I'm like, no way.
I didn't pop out of my chair quite yet, but yeah, it surprised me as well. Lucky Kid's moving on up. Yeah.
What do you think of Dieter's style in the ring, by the way?
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't do. He's smooth. I like it. It's fine.
Yeah, you think he's a more methodical Zack Sabre Jr.? That's what I take out of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This next one.
Dude, Friggin', wouldn't you know it?
Together.
Tornado tag match, 3-way dance for the tag titles. You got Rise defending against JFK and my boys, Aussie Open. Want to walk us through this, my dude?
Well, I love how they just straight up said tornado tag match. We don't get a lot of those. That way the indie style tag match, because it just becomes just utter car crash chaos anyways, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So them calling it a tornado tag match just made total sense to me. It made the match
They're
come
not
off.
going to take the belts off of Rise this soon, are they? Surely. Like, there was a huge story going into this.
I guess coming off of Back to the Roots, yeah. And then, getting the Rise name and everything. However,
surely they're not going to do it.
So JFK was on their way to winning the titles, and then out comes Chris Brooks, rips the ref out of the ring. Aussie Open hits the fidget spinner for the win. New tag champs. The crowd starts going crazy. They see Chris Brooks come out to help Aussie Open. They're chanting Schadenfreude. They want it so bad. Out from the back of the trunks, Chris Brooks pulls out the black and white Schadenfreude flag, throws it over the ropes. The crowd explodes.
It sounds like some people watch Fight Club Pro.
Oh my, this has been like I don't know how many months to a year. Schadenfreude has been a terror group over in the UK and Fight Club Pro. It's been a faction brewing. If you listen to the last podcast, I spoke about Schadenfreude and how it became a group consisting in Fight Club Pro, formed from CCK of Chris Brooks and basically all the dudes that weren't signed by NXT UK and NXT / WWE, anti-WWE, right?
Yeah.
And
with Walter.
And they just kicked out Walter from the group because you can't be part of Schadenfreude. You're part of WWE. Who else is part of this group? Lucky Kid and Timothy Thatcher. Interesting stories developing here, right? And what happens post-match? Well, Rise is pissed because there's interference. They lost their titles. Who's in the middle of this? Lucky Kid.
Lucky Kid.
And what is happening? Rise wants to beat the shit out of him. Aussie Open and CCK or Chris Brooks are just like gloating in their faces, like, look at my pretty black and white Schadenfreude flag. Lucky Kid's in the middle.
Look at my pretty belt.
They got the belts, and what is Chris Brooks doing? He's looking at Lucky Kid and backing him over. Come on, we know you're a part of this group. And this is what I like when promotions are self-aware and they treat their fans with respect, like they know what's going on already, right?
Yep.
They know who Schadenfreude is. They know who's part of the group, but they also know who's part of their own promotion. So Lucky Kid's right in the middle. Great stuff. We got a story developing here. Multiple, in fact. I love it.
Yes.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Schadenfreude on night 3.
Indeed we will. Indeed we will.
Are you excited for Schadenfreude?
I'm not familiar with them, but yeah, dude, I'm game. Let's do this.
Just from what you saw here, just on the surface, it looks like a new faction has formed. Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's do this. Right. Need to get a Schadenfreude shirt from your WXW shirt.
Oh my god, if there's one there, I'm getting it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, me too. You've got my money, you can get me one. Alrighty, so next up, dude, WXW Shotgun title match. Marius Alani defending against a mystery opponent. Ooh, who would this be?
Yeah, Karsten Beck. He was kind of the host of WXW. For those that don't know, Karsten Beck is kind of a WXW legend, mainstay. He comes out and he goes, Alani, I got you opponent. Who comes out? Guy we haven't seen in fucking 4 years in WXW?
It was Alexander. Nope, not Alexander Wolf. It was the Alistair Black. He's been there for a few years, has he?
2.5 years. Alistair Black hasn't been there.
I'm close. Totally counts, right? No, we got Alexander Wolf, dude. Axel Tischer, sorry.
Axel Tischer. formerly known in WXW.
Sure.
He came out.
I can't speak German.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm here to correct it. He came out to the Sanity music with his whole Sanity gimmick. It didn't matter him being introduced as Alexander Wolf, being called Alexander Wolf. The crowd was chanting Tischer the whole night.
Yeah, he had the ring conf shirt on under his Sandy gear.
He did. Former ring conf member as well. They do acknowledge that later on night 3 anyway.
Later on night 3, yeah, for sure. Match was fine. Marius retains.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
I really thought they were gonna give it to Wolf. I was so curious. It really had my disbelief suspended.
What would you have done if they actually gave it to him?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely would have popped because you have this big name coming back.
Is the shotgun title beneath him at this point, though?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you realize this too, but he has recently passed Bobby Gunn's reign.
All Ani?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Oh, for combined days, right?
Yeah, but this is his first run with the title, isn't it?
I think it's
I can find out.
That's not important. Let's just move on to the main event. Main event?
Main event. My boy, Absolute Andy, got screwed.
Is that how I remember
I don't like this, Jay. I don't like this. Absolute Andy was wrestling a clean match, and the referee screwed him for no reason at all.
No reason, you say?
No reason at all. Did you say something I didn't see? Because I've never seen Absolute Andy cheat or be a dick in any kind of way. He wrestles everybody with dignity and respect.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. How dare we? I love the entrances, first of all.
Okay, explain why.
So, Bobby Guns comes out from the side over kind of a bridge, so to say. Smoke everywhere. He had his Eurobeat music playing. He was very fitting for his character, and then Andy gets in a fucking cherry picker of all things. A la kind of Bobby Roode, glorious. At NXT. Scaffolding, the Eagles soaring down from the ceiling kind of deal with his title. It was good. It was a good little entrance thing. I was a fan of the match. There was one thing that kind of elephant in the room here is much of the crowd, the diehards, were trying to replicate the infinite crowd chant from Tag League, from the Ilya Dragunov Bobby Guns match. Remember where it was? It went on for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
They were trying to replicate that, and when you only have a chunk of the crowd trying to do it the whole time, it kind of brings it down. The match was still very good. Got a great pop at the end when Guns won, and with the story being told at the end, which was very fitting. We've been kind of, Jay, you and I have been kind of hinting at it for a while. It's like, when's Tassilo Jung finally gonna just say, Andy, I'm tired of your shit?
It was here, and it made me sad.
It was here. It finally happened. We were waiting for it. We're just like, ever since Andy super kicked his ass to cheat in a match last year.
Yeah,
I believe it was at Shortcut to the Top, or it was the first defense after that. I can't quite remember.
It was against Dragunov, though, I'm pretty sure.
It was definitely against Dragunov. Because when a second referee came out, Dragunov took him out. So keep being kind of it was good. But ever since then, Andy's trying to because the match right after that, Jung refused to count Andy out and would take all the weapons away from him. Then Andy's in his entrances has been trying to be buddy with Jung, and Jung's just like rolling his eyes. He walks away. But I posted a few gifs of it. It's really funny. And sure as shit, in this match, didn't Guns like punt him in the dick after Andy tried to do some heel weapon shit to him?
Oh yeah, he did. He kicked Angie right in the nuts, and then Young very quickly put his hands over his eyes and went to the corner.
Right as Young turned around, that's when Guns punted him, and then Guns just like Andy's hunched over, looking at him. He's like, DQ his ass, and Guns is just like, oh crap, what have I done? And then Young just looks at them both, and he's like, no, I didn't see shit, and he covers his eyes. I loved it. It's so it's an overbooked ending, but we get it, right?
We do. But man, my Eagles' reign is over.
The Eagles' reign has come to an end.
I don't care what you say, man. He got screwed, and Andy is still my world champion.
Technically, Andy did get screwed, and it's the catch style match between the two. It really reminded me of their shotgun title match from Dead End in 2017, which was good. This was better, in my opinion. There was more story here to be told. I was a big fan of the ending. I got a big pop and laugh out of it. And Bobby Guns fucking won. He won the big one, finally. So we got a new champion. Good stuff.
Andy tapped out, yeah.
Yeah.
But he got screwed.
All right, let's go through night 3 real quick, because this was really fast, and we're getting a little long here.
Are we going to cover all of these stuff, or you just want to talk tournament things?
I mean, it's real quick it's real quick stuff to go through.
All right, lead the way, good sir.
All right. Lucky Kid against Ilya Dragunov in semifinals. Surely
he loses to Ilya, doesn't he?
He loses to Ilya. Nope, Lucky Kid gets another one. I didn't like this match too much, to be honest, because it was a lot of just Ilya beating on Lucky and yelling at him, and then Lucky didn't it but the roll up sequence and Lucky winning did still shock me nonetheless. So then after that
was crazy.
When we had our semifinal match with Walter against Avalanche, I'm like, uh-oh. Are we gonna get Lucky Kid and Avalanche in the finals?
Yeah, no. Walter cheats again and takes Avalanche.
Just the booking of Lucky Kid had me suspend my disbelief. Like, there was a chance Avalanche could win with the way everything was kind of going down.
Yep.
But nonetheless, Walter cheats, heel fashion, beats Avalanche, moving on. So we get Lucky Kid and Walter in the finals later in the night. 6-man tag, we had Team Japan against pseudo Team Ringkampf, basically. We have Sekimoto, Irie, and then Yuki Ishikawa. For those that don't know, he's kind of Timothy Thatcher and a bunch of catch wrestling style people. Yuki Ishikawa has a history in WXW and partnership, whether it's Big Japan, etc. They were against Alexander Wolf, Timothy Thatcher, and Fight Mueller, who's been trying to get into Ringkampf. Said Alexander Wolf.
I didn't hear you say it. Moving on.
Fight Mueller has been trying to get in the Ringkampf for 6 months now, so that's been a long story. Team Japan gets the win, and interesting enough, all of Ringkampf come out to the ring.
Walter puts on a chokehold to be a dick.
Dieter and Walter come out. So Thatcher, Wolf, Dieter, and Walter are in the four corners. Mueller's standing in the middle of the ring. They're all looking at him. The crowd's chanting, fight Mueller, fight, Ringkampf. And all of a sudden, Walter kind of playfully puts Mueller in a chokehold that made even myself gasp a little bit, because I was like, "Oh shit, are they just gonna beat the fuck out of this guy?" No. They give him a Ringkampf shirt to finally acknowledge Mueller is now part of Ringkampf. They all Wolf, basically being out of the group now and being in WWE. Who knows for how much longer? Let's be honest. It's not like Sanity's been a thing ever.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. He kind of heads to the back, and that leaves Thatcher, Mueller, Dieter, and Walter all in the ring. Everyone does the Ringkampf behind the backs pose towards the hard cam. Then Thatcher just looks at him, and he snubs him. What do you think?
Yeah. It's interesting with the Schadenfreude being a thing now, isn't it?
my thoughts exactly. So, WXW women's title match. Big story here is, the whole friends falling out angle. Simple enough.
I was surprised that Killer Kelly didn't win.
WXW, man, they're booking. I really thought Killer Kelly was going to win too. Just devastated she didn't get it over. Toni Storm wins. Good match, recommended.
Yep. Hot and spicy. Axel Data Jr. and DeMac versus JFK.
The old Hamburg tag team is back together. Dieter Jr. Just a nice little crowd pop. They defeat JFK. Sad to see JFK take 2 losses in 2 days, kind of deal.
Yep.
For those that don't know, and why it's so over, they're kind of hot and spicy because they're 2 dashing looking dudes. They come out to this funky little German rendition of the Ghostbusters theme song.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, go to WXW's YouTube page. You can see the whole entrance, the crowd reaction. It's quite funny. They were one of the most over tag teams in WXW's history.
Radio.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Six-man tag. Schadenfreude, Chris Brooks, Carl Fletcher, and Mark Davis defeat Lucha Brothers with Ray Horace.
Great 6-man tag match. Great trios match.
It was chaotic. It was very chaotic.
And just to note, Schadenfreude came out in true NWO style, where the whole arena is black and white, playing CCK's entrance music. It's great.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Very good match. Everyone needs to go watch it.
And then our finals.
16 Carat finals with Walter, the last ring conf member standing, the last veteran of WXW standing, if you will. He finally puts the kid in his place.
Sure, right? No way.
Hey. No one beats Walter at WXW. What's going on here? Lucky Kid clearly doesn't stand a chance. He freaking tapped Walter out.
Yeah, he didn't just roll him up. He didn't, hit the Shinobi from the corner, or sliced bread, however you want to call the move. He fucking taps Walter out.
What the freak happened here? Why? What's going on?
Something David Starr, Phoenix. No one could get done. Lucky Kid wins. He wins 16
karat. It's crazy, isn't it?
Of all the people that have won this thing, I had Lucky Kid going out in the first round.
It's crazy.
Even every match after that, I was like, he can't win. That's been the theme of as we're talking about this. No way, right? And I loved the ending a little bit with Schadenfreude clapping on the stage while Rise was in the ring celebrating Lucky Kid's 16 karat win.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
All the stories shall be told. So fucking A, Lucky Kid won. Jesus Christ. If
crazy.
Anybody with that stacked bracket, if anybody had Lucky Kid winning this thing, I will call you a liar.
I had Lucky Kid winning. What are you talking about?
You are a liar. There's
you can't
no
prove
way
that.
You had
You can't
winning.
prove that. I didn't say anything about Lucky Kid going out the first round earlier in this recording at all.
You're a liar, Jay.
It's just crazy. It's ridiculous.
It's one of the best stories of the year. It's crazy. That's bold ass booking. Very bold.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So let me play for you, Jay, Kazunina RA. And we can just go through the New Japan Cup. It's pretty. I think it's pretty simple to go through. It's just, this match is good. Let me play it, and we can move. Hey, finally. So, I got the bracket in front of me right now. Where we left off was the final day, so we can wrap this up right quick. Colt Cabana beats Makabe. Fair enough. Toru Yano beats DBS Jr. Fair enough. Gets him over again.
Yep.
Satoshi Kojima and Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki wins.
Good match.
Yep, playing off this whole Kojima-gun, Suzuki-gun history there. Fair enough. Sonata and Goto have a great match. Quite like that one. 20 minutes. Sonata wins. Yeah. You know, in hindsight, when I made my bracket, I really should have had Sonata going further. Because with the history of Goto and where the direction is going, I should have known better and had Sonata.
But the New Japan Cup is Goto's thing, you know that.
I did, but with what's happened in the recent history and the booking, I think it was more obvious Goto was going to lose.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. So second round 2, Ishii Taichi. Taichi loses in a. I thought the match was too long. It was one of the longer matches of the tournament too. 23 minutes almost. Yeah,
you don't need to have Taichi and Ishii go for that long.
Luckily Ishii went.
You're talking about luckily. Taichi's a wrestling god. We've had this conversation.
You're right, Jay. You're right. Yoshihashi beats Chase Owens. This irked me quite a lot.
Yeah, because they literally just gave Chase the win over Juice so that they can set up a US title match for this last night of the tournament, and then as soon as that's done, you can make him lose. Wouldn't it make more sense to build him up a little bit more, make him look like a viable threat for Juice?
I very much agree, because losing to Yoshihashi here, I think immediately discredited Chase Owens.
Yeah.
Immediately. I didn't like this. I thought it depleted Juice Robinson in the end, because at first I was like, hey, you're building a new star for the US title picture in that area. You're building a new foreign star. I was like, okay, I can live with the 24-minute loss Juice took Chase Owens, right?
Yep.
But then to immediately lose to Yoshihashi, of all people, by the way, a guy that I don't give two shits about. I never have. I don't care what match, who Yoshihashi is up against. I never seem to care or believe he's gonna ever go above like a mid-card level, if even that level, right? So as soon as Chase Owens lost this match, I immediately changed my mind, and I was like, well, there goes my whole hype and belief for what's gonna happen in the future. Didn't care. I was very irked about it. I thought it was poor. Okada against Mikey Nichols. Hey,
Mad
Mikey's here. Okada wins. Yeah, right guy won. Mikey looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was fine. Will Ospreay beat Lance Archer.
That was a good match. Crazy the sequence.
Everybody dies.
Archer's music. Everybody dies. Ospreay doing the Stormbreaker on that big of a dude was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Tanahashi and Taguchi had a real good match. Kind of Taguchi getting on that ankle lock a lot was some good maneuvers there. Pretty cool for the vets.
Indeed. ZSJ beat Kota Ibushi.
Tapped him the fuck out.
once he's got his win over Naito, sets up the IC title match, get him out of there, I guess.
Yeah, and that was my bracket busted. But that's okay. I love Zack Sabre Jr. So, but this was kind of another situation where you have the champion lose in the first round, and then the guy who beat him immediately loses the next match.
Yeah, kind of devaluates the IC title a little bit, doesn't it?
This is a situation where I'm okay with it because commentary and the story is Zack has never lost in the New Japan Cup. And he's a legit threat to everybody. He beat Kota Ibushi last year. Zack has proven he can beat everybody. You know? So there is credibility there.
Yeah.
While in Yoshihashi and Chase Owens' case, no credibility.
Yep. Colt Cabana beat Toriano in a comedy match.
It was exactly what we all wanted. Let's be honest. It's a comedy classic.
Yep.
Pure form. I loved it. I'm just glad they gave it to us.
Yeah, what was Sonata beat Suzuki?
Dude, that was good. This was everything you think these two could do, and they did it well. because I had Goto going forward, which was my foolish decision in hindsight. I had Minoru winning in this. If I would have pit, like, as soon as Sonata went through, I was like, yeah, he's beating Minoru. That's kind of the history between the two. Sonata's the young technical guy with the high flying elements in. He tends to beat Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ishii beat Yoshihashi it was a match.
It was a match. I don't care about Yoshihashi. I could get into it. Yoshihashi had some fire in him, which.
Yep. Okada Ospreay was also a match. I quite liked Okada Ospreay. It was very good. I don't think these two could put on a bad match against each other.
Yeah, it's impossible between those two. Not as good as their anniversary match from 2017 or 2018, but this one was good nonetheless. Less flippy Ospreay, a lot more character work in this one, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Zack Sabre Jr. loses his first match in the New Japan Cup against Tanahashi.
This one I had a problem with.
Okay, what's that?
Okay. So, we know in the next match we had Sonata Colt Cabana, and you know Colt Cabana's not going to win, right? So, with Sabre beating Ibushi, right? I think that should have been carte blanche immediately. Sabre goes to the finals. Because the end goal is Madison Square Garden, correct?
Correct.
So, Tanahashi tapped out to Sabre last year.
Correct.
So, Tanahashi losing to Sabre here would be no different. It would be fine. He lost last year. That creates another story, if anything. And Tanahashi can lose a match. All it does is put someone over, right?
Correct.
So I had a big problem with how the tournament progressed. Now, don't get me wrong. I fucking adored this match. I loved it. It's in my opinion the second best match of the tournament because of how old school technical it was. There you go. What did you think about this booking? Did you have the same issue I did?
Tanahashi's coming off a world title run, dude.
So?
I'm just saying, it's probably that I don't think they quite know yet what they're doing with Okada and White. If that happens.
I think they figured that out like 6 months ago. That was a plan.
Well, it wasn't though, because at that stage Omega was still champion. As far as they knew, it was going to be Omega and Okada at the G1.
Which is fine. They knew who was going to win the New Japan Cup 6 months ago. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. I don't know. Let's just move on. Sonata beats Colt Cabana via submission. Match was fine. Ishii and Okada have a very hard hitting match.
Yeah, this is arguably the. I could easily. If you made me flip a coin, honestly, like the Tanahashi Sabre match was more my style. That's why I liked it more. Okada Ishii, I could flip a coin easily and say that this was the second best match of no doubt.
Dude, it's almost like they're setting up Tanahashi and Okada in the finals. There's no way that Sonata can beat Tanahashi, right?
With the story there to be told, like both guys can't beat Jay White. That's the story there. But man, hometown Nagoya guy Sonata's here to stay, apparently.
Taps freaking Tanahashi out with the Colts goal.
Which gives me more issue with the fact Sabre lost. Because now you have Okada Sonata in the finals for MSG. I had zero belief Sonata was winning that finals. That's why I won't rate this match. Like, I love the Okada Sonata match. I think it's like second best match of the year after Omega Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being, I had still my belief suspended in Omega Tanahashi. In Okada Sonata, I never once believed for a second that Sonata was going to win this match.
Yeah, no, I could say that.
That was my issue with it.
So in case you can't tell, though, Okada beats Sonata in the final.
Yeah, Okada wins, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I get, we're getting Okada, Jay White at MSG, G1 Supercard for the title. Okada cut a promo to Jay White saying he's not on his level, and then Jay White's like, "I beat you twice, brah." Do you think this is too soon for Okada White, especially considering White beat him in 14 minutes just in January?
A little bit. I don't think I want to see Okada get the title back quite yet.
Feels like it should be like a Dominion thing or anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, you could have continued. I mean, I'm not going to complain about seeing Okada Jay White any day, really. It's just with the stories that are being told. Like, this wraps up no story. It doesn't wrap up any story with Jay White and Okada.
Well, maybe he doesn't win it back, but it sure seems like it's the way they're going.
If he doesn't win it back, here's the issue. If Okada doesn't win the belt at White, or against White at MSG, sure, it further gives credibility to White as a champion, but really he's beaten him twice.
But if White drops the belt, then great. First defense, you lose the belt. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. It's yet another champion who loses their first defense. There's a lot of
Could you imagine Colin's reaction to that?
Well, I mean, he already has the belt.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, it's going to be interesting here for the next couple of weeks because, man, that Mania weekend is packed with a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches. I'm going to WXW, followed by Stardom on Friday, and then the G1 Supercard, and then going home and falling asleep because I'm not watching WrestleMania. Not live.
You gotta watch Takeover, aren't you?
You know what? I'll probably watch Takeover on Sunday night.
So everyone's watching Mania freaking out over Brock retaining over Seth, and you're just like, yeah, that Adam Cole Gargano match was amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And then over the course of that week, I will be like watching WrestleMania in like hour and a half chunks.
I don't think I'm ready for this WrestleMania, man. It's scary looking.
I do think this is the best New Japan Cup I've ever seen. From a pure match standpoint and the quality of it all.
Yeah, no, I could say that. It was a good cup. I liked it.
Yeah, it was very easy to come in and watch. We didn't talk about the Juice Robinson Chase Owens US title match.
Do we need to? Juice retains.
I mean, there was a lot of shit in it.
Yeah, Fale comes out, Jado's there. A lot of things happen, but Juice retains.
Bump, there was the manager interference. There was the.
I almost thought that Chase won it with the powder spot.
The Mr. Fuji spot.
Yeah. Did you?
I was thinking, what did Juice fucking do? Did he hurt a cat or something? Did he hurt the owner's cat?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was definitely concerned for a little bit, but I was like, thank God. Juice needs to rack up wins because, like, first of all, the booking seems real lackluster and a bit lazy behind the U.S. title, and it almost seems like there's a vendetta against Juice Robinson for seemingly no reason, or things I can't understand.
The issue is, I think the belt was made for Kenny, and he's not there.
I think it was also made for Cody for the name value.
That's also a thing too. Yeah,
and then he left.
Once again, he's gone too.
So I think there's a big gap in what the U.S. title is. I think they had a vision for it, and then it all fell through when all these dudes just left. Right? There's not a lot of US
looking at the
guys.
people there that can technically, if you want to make it a US title, like, or foreign title only, like, there's only a small handful of people that can really compete for it.
Yeah, that's kind of a flaw.
That's what I was saying, dude. Like, everybody gets one. That's why Chase was a contender.
Yeah. Oh well.
Can't wait for Fale to take the belt off him. Can you?
Be interesting.
Would it though? Would it really? I don't know, man. Like, the title looks good on Juice. I think that the US title suits Juice.
Yeah, I think Juice just needs to rack up like fucking 9 defenses. You know,
and then we'll see who the best US champion is, Colin.
Some absurd defense number for Juice after his first reign was, well, shit.
Bad.
Good win, but shit reign. I think Juice just against even hard guys. You know, beat guys like Fale, Mikey Nickel, maybe face Taguchi, beat him. You know, they don't have to be like totally credible opponents. Just rack up all these defenses, and then you just see the numbers won't lie situation. That would be fine. Look at the
defenses that Jay White had. Jay White didn't exactly defend it against named people.
Defenses.
Yeah, I can only remember like one. There was Hangman Page, and there was Finley. Who was the other one?
Probably Ashi or somebody.
Yeah, see, we don't remember who the third defense was. See, this is exactly why that belt's not good. Like, sorry, this is exactly why Jay didn't have the best run.
Yeah, I mean, the best match was Jay losing the title.
Yeah, it was a good match. That broke JR's ribs.
Alrighty, so that was New Japan. I'll be back talking about WCW and stuff. Looking forward to G1 Supercard and road to Dontaku. Steve. Hell yeah, Dontaku's looking like it could be pretty stacked. Jay, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Thanks for having me.
Back in a minute.
Peace out, guys.
WCW World Championship Wrestling in the house. Here we are, WCW Thunder, episode 18, May 28th, 1998. I'm getting into that Nitro mood, guys. Getting in that Nitro mood. I do like me some Thunder. Those main events are getting bad. But what's going to happen as we're heading into, I believe, Bash at the Beach at this point? Which is pretty interesting because Cody Rhodes of AEW filed for a bunch of old WCW property names. Pay-per-view names like Bash at the Beach and Halloween Havoc and the such. Cool stuff there. So we get a quick recap of Nitro, where Lex Luger and the rest of the NWO Wolfpack throw Sting a shirt to join the Red and Black. What is going through Sting's head? Why did Luger join the Wolfpack? These are the questions that are going to be answered tonight on Thunder. But first, Bret Hart hits the ring, start off Thunder with very loud boos. He is hated. And the crux of Bret Hart's promo here is Hart has the solution and words and the key to Sting's wrestling future. Join the black and white, pretty much. Don't join the black and red. Good, quick, simple promo. Not too long, not too short. Got the point across. We're moving on. Now, if this... There was a lot of segments on this show. We get Jim Powers versus the Barbarian with Jimmy Hart, and Hugh Morris even in his corner. Commentary mentioning Jimmy Hart seems to be forming a little faction of his own, along with the return of Meng at one point. Needless to say, quick boot of fear from Barbarian, and he gets the win. Just moving on. Not good. Jericho joins Shivani rampside for an interview for discussion with J.J. Dillon about the state of the Cruiserweight title and the issue surrounding it because of what happened at the previous pay-per-view. However, Mr. Old JJ is not here, so Jericho calls for the conspiracy, what's going on in Nitro on DC, and getting one hell of a lawyer to find evidence to his Cruiserweight title so he can get it back in his hands. Conspiracy Jericho is so funny. Like, everything makes sense to what he's saying. Malenko was never in the match. Ciclope was. Well, Malenko's definitely not Ciclope, so he never lost his title. He's even carrying around signs that have an arrow pointing to him saying conspiracy victim. Good stuff. We get a long Nitro recap of the tag implosion covering Luger coming out with Konnan to save Kevin Nash from getting beaten down by the Giant, as Luger joins the Red and Black in this instance. So that leads to later on Nitro, there's a tag match of Luger and Sting versus the NWO fake Sting and Giant. Because if you remember, there was a fake Sting for some reason last time. Reasons. So Luger and Sting win the match. The post-match is the Wolfpack itself. It's new member Luger trying to recruit Sting to join them. All world champions kind of deal. Or at least all champions. Compelling stuff. We get a tag match, High Voltage versus the team of Bulldog and Neidhart. So kind of your Hart Foundation. Not much here. Just 4 big dudes going at it for 5 minutes until Bulldog hits the running power slam for the win. Music hits for the first time. It's the Wolfpack theme. You know what? Pretty sure I have a snippet of it right here. Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh, God. Just a sick tune that they come out to the ring to. So much so that Nash even throws up the too sweet, and he's like, yeah, I know, we got to stop the music because we got shit to say. Sorry, guys, but let's get this. Let's get down to business. Yeah. Commentary acknowledges it and says, let's listen in. Nash says, I know the music is sweet, but we got business to do. So we got Konnan, Nash, Savage, and Luger all in the ring. Luger talks about his gut feeling to join the Wolfpack, wants to be across something big, so sensing kind of NWO takeover kind of vibes. He wants Sting to join him on the ship setting sail. Convincing promo by Luger. Luger's not so bad. He's growing on me, guys. Am I saying that? As long as you don't put him in these shitty matches I've been seeing. It's making my memory not so good. Next match, Glacier versus former Flock member Van Hammer due to Hammer's Nitro interference of Glacier versus Saturn. So we're getting like a little revenge ploy here. Commentary is referring to Raven firing the Flock on Nitro, which is an interesting move. The match goes on until Glacier puts in the Rings of Saturn. So that's continuing the little Glacier-Saturn feud that's happening for reasons. They just kind of talk about it a lot. Who cares? This causes Saturn to come out and sidekick Glacier for the DQ. Because, of course, can't be stealing moves, even though Saturn is stealing Glacier's moves. There's your logic. Still makes more sense than a lot of stuff we see in the mainstream wrestling today. So Raven follows suit and even flow DDT's Hammer and then begs for Saturn to join forces with him again. He's kind of got this half recruiting thing going on here. You definitely as a viewer have this thing in the back of your mind going, Raven's up to something. So but Raven gets a mic, and he immediately freaks out. No, he doesn't get the mic. As they're walking down the ramp, he immediately freaks out that he thinks a couple vendors are Mortis because of all the attacks that's been happening lately of just random dudes attacking him. And then, so he's sicking Saturn. Saturn's helping out. He's beating, like, random dudes. And then out of nowhere from behind, a vendor cracks Raven in the back. And then he books it. So Mortis gets him again, anytime, anyone, anywhere. It's good. It's interesting. I love it. Not so much the Glacier Saturn thing, but definitely the Mortis Raven thing that's happening. So we have a best of 7 series ongoing because of the whole Booker T Benoit stipulation. This is just for the number 1 contendership for Finlay and his TV title. Hey. Makes the champion look like he's a big deal. Everyone's fighting towards him. This is the second match. Currently, Benoit's up 1-0. And the third match of the set is set for WCW Saturday Night, so we won't be hearing that. We'll just be hearing the fallout from it. This match is super fast paced, no let up of any kind, with lots of back and forth and near. Crowd got real hot for this. They're going fucking mental. Wish you'd get that a lot more. The match surprisingly gets a good amount of time. It goes for 13 and a half minutes. Booker T wins off his missile dropkick. Fun. Hell yeah. We get Finlay versus Brad Armstrong for the TV title, because even though Brad Armstrong has never won a match on this podcast or Thunder, he gets a TV title match. Second match in a row, entrances are skipped through a commercial, so they're all jobbed out. So your TV title is jobbed out on TV. And I also question why this was even fucking competitive. I've never seen Armstrong be competitive. Crowd chants boring during the match. Couldn't get over. Finally, Finlay wins via the tombstone. Like, even if you take out crowd reaction and the jobbing and you suspend your disbelief, the match was okay at. We get another recap of Nitro. Where Savage and Piper are in the ring, being a team. But then Hart comes out and plants the seeds of conspiracy. Seen a lot of that sprinkled throughout 1998 here, of just the inner workings of the NWO. Don't trust anybody, and that includes anybody else. Savage was part of the NWO. He was part of the Upright. You know, you can't trust him kind of deal. But one thing is for sure was that it's insulting to Piper with Hart, right? Because Bret Hart like insinuates that Piper was in on it the whole time, like, oh man, we fooled him. And Savage, being Macho Madness over here, he fucking loses it. He believes every single word coming out of Hart's mouth, or at least a hint of it. He's like, oh, if there's a chance I won't be having this. But Piper and Savage are not getting along, and they got a tag match coming up. We get Barry Darsow, aka Smash, aka Repo Man, versus Saturn. Just a strange back and forth match until the sidekick Death Valley Driver hits. Saturn wins. Sure. Barry Horowitz versus Goldberg. Match literally lasts 30 seconds. Spear Jackhammer, who's next? 92-0. US champ is here to stay. NWO Hollywood to the ring of Bret Hart, Bischoff, Vincent, and the Giant. We got all these guys in there. No Hogan. That's interesting. I guess with Hogan and Sting's past, that makes sense, right? They offer a join us Sting promo. Hart does another one a little bit, so continuity from the beginning of the show. The Wolfpack music hits. They're all on the ramp, saying everybody knows where Sting belongs. He wants to be with the champions kind of deal. And then a brawl ensues between the two groups to cut the show off the air. Not a shit ending with an NWO DQ finish. I don't fucking believe it. I loved this show. I enjoyed WCW Thunder. Crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. I'm looking forward to Nitro. I'm looking forward to Thunder the next week. I'm looking forward to the Great American Bash. I want to know what's happening. This is intriguing stuff. Very happy fan. Very happy fan. And that does it. That's our Retro Wrestling recap. Just to go through our top 10 rankings here. 15 for the men, 10 for the women. I'll just go for the women first. 10, Raven Creed, OTT champ. 9, Millie McKenzie. 8, Azumi. 7, Konami. 6, Andres Miyagi. She's been looking great in Stardom, let's be honest. 5, Hazuki. One of the best in Stardom this year. 4, Session Moth Martina. 3, Meiko Satomura. They had a great singles match in OTT. 2, Killer Kelly. 1, Toni Storm. I love her heel work. That was the best women's match the last couple weeks. Loved it. Loved it all. Go check it out. Now with the New Japan Cup, OTT Scrappermania, 16 karat gold. Yeah, this is going to be a little biased, but let's just go through it. And, man, honorable mentions, Ishii, Suzuki, Absolute Andy, Jimmy fucking Havoc. They're all honorable mentions. I just couldn't fit them on the list. Who I was able, and if you listen to the cast, great, you understand. I'll probably only mention number 1 here a little bit more, but 15 is Dragunov, 14 Ospreay. I'm sorry, Ishii got 13. My bad. 12 Marufuji, 11 Zack Sabre Jr., 10 Tanahashi, 9 Kiyomiya of Noah, 8 is Miyahara of All Japan, 7 David Starr, 6 Bobby Guns, finally won the big one, 5 Sonata, can't believe I'm saying that, 4 Okada, 3 Jordan Devlin, 2 Walter, and 1 Lucky Kid. And the reason why I put Lucky Kid number 1 is because he is the perennial lower mid-carder that has beaten every major tender in the promotion to earn his spot. He beat Dragunov, he beat Thatcher, he beat Dieter, and he beat Walter. None of which you could just say Lucky Kid was easily going to beat them. So, there we go. Episode 27 in the books. And the next time you will be hearing this guy's voice is after a week of WrestleMania weekend featuring WXW, Stardom Show, G1 Supercard, NXT TakeOver, Mania. Holy shit. Very exciting stuff in the works here. Red Leaf Retrocast, episode 27 of the WrestleCast edition. Scrapper Carat Gold Cup. See you next time.